Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for joining us. I know Steve is here. Perhaps Telco will be joining us later on. And we also expect other people to join us as we discuss the way forward. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. When it's SKTV, it's about the issue and nothing but the issue. So we want to encourage everybody. We know a lot going on right now. Some people are happy. Some people are frustrated. However, whatever it is, we want to encourage each and every one of you to go ahead and share the show. Steve will be coming here shortly. I believe Steve is already here and is in the backstage. Steve is the one actually that's supposed to start the show today. But for some reason, he's a little bit behind. Hopefully, he will get back soon. And then we can begin the conversation. So, brace yourself. Get your question ready. Or get your answer ready. Whatever it is. We want to say thank you to all of you. I want to welcome everybody here. Fritus, Robin Wookie, Sela Afu Na. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us. I want to encourage you not just to join us, but to also share the show with your colleagues, with your friends, on your page, in the groups that you are in. Making sure that everybody form part of this beautiful conversation today. It's about the way forward. It's about politics. It's about Liberia. It's about our country. It's about ourselves, our children, and the future of our children. So when we talk about way forward, how can you wake up when you fall? When we talk about way forward, this is not limited to only the opposition. We are talking the country as a whole, not just opposition community or the government. What is the way forward for our country? It's a big question. I believe some of you will get the answer, and some of you may have a question. Whatever it is, I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. So with that said, we are going to play one song, maybe one of our beautiful song here. And then we will begin the conversation shortly. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. All right.
Dr. Lou Beats.
First time I saw your face, I knew I was in love. Baby, your smile takes my breath away. And they can say what I want, girl, I don't mind. As long as you are by my side. Baby, you smile of paradise. Baby, girl, come be my lifeline. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause then I tell the world I do. Even you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, come be my lifeline. Yega ampa ilikuwa. Anyway, you will come on. How many times do you want me to say I love you? 'Cause when I tell the world I do, even you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? 'Cause when I tell the world I do, even you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life. I need no painkiller 'cause you took my pain away. You don't need umbrella, I will take the rain away. Inikuma. Yega ampa ilikuwa. Anyway, you will come on. How many times do you want me to say I love you? 'Cause when I tell the world I do, even you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? 'Cause when I tell the world I do, even you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life.
All right, folks. I think the boss man Steph is here. Steve is here. Like I said, Steve was the one that's supposed to start the show, but he was kind of running behind a little bit. So he asked me to go ahead and start the show. So now Steve is here. Let's bring Steve on. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Mr. Kane, what's up?
I'm doing great. Yeah, you put everything together there. I was not seeing you. I said, okay, let me just start the show. It's already after 11.
Not in.
Yeah. So yes, folks. Once again, we want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. We want to welcome you to SKTV once again. You know, when it's SKTV, it's about the issue and nothing but the issue. We want to encourage you to share the show if you haven't done so. And if you did, I want to say thank you. If you haven't done it, please go ahead and share the show. We want to encourage you. Steve, you can take some time to say hi to our people, whether they play the song. And today was a kind of lovely song. And the topic today under discussion was the way forward. It means a lot, and it's a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about, honestly. But before we jump into the conversation, you can take some time and greet our people. Even if you like, you can recognize some people. I've tried. I attempted to do so. Before you recognize people, let me tell you something, right? There's one guy here. The guy is one of the smartest GNB and Costa supporter. He's the smartest one. He is cool. He respects everybody's opinion. He's on the show every day. He watches Costa show. He watches Spoon Talk. And he supports whoever he wants to support, but he always come here and respect us. Regardless of what you say, he would disagree with you, but he would never say anything funny about you. Yeah, the guy, I'm going to call you name later on. But the guy, I think that's a good example of Liberia, the kind of Liberia I want to see. People, being tolerant. Like for me, I watch all the show. I don't care. I don't care whether they're talking about me. They're not talking about me. They're talking good. They're talking bad about me. I don't care. Or they're talking about somebody that I don't like. I don't care. I always watch the show if I have time to do so. I watch Spoon sometimes. I watch Focus on Liberia. I watch Costa show sometimes. You see, I watch all the show. Sometimes it's good to listen to other people. It's good to listen to other opinion, other views, so that you can have the feeling that your view or your opinion is supreme. Steve, hello again.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Thank you so much. Hello to you. Hello to our people back home. Hello to those of our people that are here in the diaspora. Some are in Europe, Australia, some parts of Asia. Some are also in Canada, but especially those that are back home. We want to say thank you. Thank you for using your data in these hard times to follow us, to follow the show. I want to welcome each and every one of you. Help us to share the show. Help us to invite someone. We want to speak about the way forward, whether it is the opposition or it is the government. We want to speak about the way forward. And in speaking about the way forward, we have to talk some truth. We have to discuss the issue. Yes, we the one can turn on this thing, this Facebook. We the one can leave our business schedule to come here. So yes, you are okay. It is okay for you to come and disagree, or just we beg you for the sake of peace, just be respectful to us. Don't cause us. Come here, disagree with us. Yeah. Don't cause us disagree with us. Say we're not saying the truth. You want to call in, you want to debunk us. That's fine. But we beg you, be nice to us. It's not easy. It's what we're doing here. Go ask anybody that can do show. It's not easy. I give credit to everybody, especially those that are consistent. It's not easy to leave your work, to leave other obligations. Come on, So when you don't get very it's okay too for you to believe that somebody sponsoring us, we're eating somebody's money. I wish Mr. Kane could make known some of the, just one day get fair, just publish some of the bills and some of the responsibility behind closed doors so you can see exactly. And hopefully you can see ANC people contribution there. You can see Cummins paying for all the services. You can see it on there. Hopefully it can be there. I'm begging Mr. Kane one of these days. Anytime I tell you, only the poor man, don't worry about that thing. They put and say anything. Anytime I tell you, but it's a good thing. We love our people, we love our country, and we'll not stop. Whether you disagree with us or you agree, or the interesting part, Mr. Kane, in all of the disagreements, the same people that can cause us, the same people that can disagree with us, the same people can be looking forward to us coming home. That is the interesting part, the good part about it.
Of course.
And that's why I love, I know you guys don't hate us. To be honest, I know you don't hate us. You just want us to talk, whether that's for your person or for your people, but it's not possible for us to talk for one person.
And again, Steve, just to agree with you, some people, they don't hate us. You see this person here, but before I respond to that person, let me say this to this person, Zola Wesley. She said you never said thank you to her. Thank you plenty for sharing the show.
And we'll come in.
Yeah, you can recognize some people there. But the people who say I will be sharing the show. Let me tell you something. You know that my sister Ellen Paul I'm my sister from Nimba.
She a banner her job, man. She used to be supervisor, watching.
Yeah, but you know what she can do?
She kind of job this time.
She never call. She never say anything. She always just to contribute, but she never say anything. Then we're not telling her thank you.
We're looking for a different person for that supervisor role. Ellen Paul now, we're taking the job.
No, you're not working, huh?
No. Ellen Paul, why you press behind closed door? How Ellen Paul?
Yeah, I thought you never put you for her.
Sharing the show. Ellen Paul get on the show one time in a year.
And one of my
I don't understand. You know, Swole will get a job. No, I look at it.
What about this person here? I call it, one Vivian Eastman used to be here. She used to share the show all the time, but I don't know where she is now. Where she is? Vivian.
That is there.
Yeah, this only person here. I want to say big thank you to you. Yeah, she can share the show. I don't know. But the people say, but again, let me tell you something now. When you say the people don't hate us, the person came, the person looking at me, the person happy the way I'm looking. He just sure give me compliments. Say, Cummins money really working. Look at Sekou so handsome. What Cummins money got to do with me? I love these people, man. You people are interesting guys. But she said, you say, Cummins money working. I want to say, is handsome. Cummins money really making Sekou Kene more than handsome. Cummins money making me more than handsome, but then that mean the money is good then. If it's making me more than handsome, then I will take it any day, anytime.
So you wait. Let we'll recognize people. So you get money from Cummins, and you say now you can't.
I know.
And we're eating the other day, just I think a day or two to the hospital. We're swallowing our fufu, and you didn't even give my own. What?
I know.
I don't understand. But how will you?
They put that the money can pass through. They sort of share with you before they come into me because they know more than me. I think.
So you getting all this money from Cummins?
Yeah, but the point the money can come through. They want it to be sharing with you because I mean I don't know about the money. I can see it.
Wow. Well, whoever wrote that, I beg you contact me. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah,
Moses.
You gotta share with Steve.
Give me all of the information. I beg you. And I want to help Babati information. I want real factual information with evidences so that Mr. Kane can be, it's time for all of us to win a lawsuit against SKTV for having money and not telling me, and gas price going up.
Yeah.
We'll be doing
internet price all going up now.
Yeah, internet price going up. What did they put our internet in situation again, We gotta go and pay for them to come and check it so that nobody can hide. You have no clue about what goes on behind closed doors. But Mr. Kane, let's recognize our people really quick so that we can get to our talking points here in the situation here. So really quick, Fertus, you are the first person to be on. Fertus, the only concern I get with you, both face to that name, the name looking fun, the name looking too serious last, post face to your PQ. Robin, welcome to the show. Sela Afu, welcome to the show. Naomi, welcome to the show. Frank, welcome to the show. Yvonne, welcome to the show. The Bill Cassie man say he get that far out, they that trouble and for the man to count the show again at war. The Bill Cassie man, I know the man. Unde fala man get out there, say that time man get fala man get chauffeur man.
You know Bill Cassie that constitution. But
I know constitution.
The smartest one.
Smart? They get smart constitution. They get smart. So long you constitution, you're not smart. The father you choose that route, you're not smart automatically lead that thing. Roslyn,
I disagree with you.
I agree 100%.
Bill Cassie that smart.
So long you constitution, you're not smart. Small, big, you're not smart.
My big, Bobby Benito will not leave me alone.
Roslyn Diggs, welcome. Yvonne, welcome to the show. Jeff, welcome to the show. Oh, Ellen Paul here today. She wants to get her a job. We're still looking at your application, Ellen. That supervisor job, we got to look at it. Yeah. Ambassador Jeremy Orlando Reeves, welcome to the show. Vivian, welcome to the show. Joel, welcome to the show. Zole, look at you take that position. While looking at you, you've been too active on the show. You've been sharing the show.
What about Roof? Roof is constant, man. Roof is always on time.
Moluba, no Roof. Looking at Roof. Since the summer, Roof, not something.
Roof even beat Benjamin Jonathan.
Forget about Benjamin, man. Benjamin right now, we are turning the man.
Benjamin got plenty of fun to pay, man.
Yes, Siata, welcome to the show. Ellen Poe, yeah, she just renting now so she can get a job, but we're not Sonny. We're still looking at you. Dwell, welcome to the show. Life for Fun, welcome to the show. Yvonne, welcome to the show. With the person here, always it's just Beverly Padibo here. Somebody took.
She said, "Oh, let me finish." She might just walk out about it one time.
Okay, me just walk on
I
everybody.
don't want you to call people name.
Facebook.
So jump over her name. Just the same way. You know that song, like, bro.
Yeah, I don't worry.
Jump
I
through the
jump
window. No, jump through the window.
No, I don't know that, but I know song. That John through the window song, that noisy song. I don't know, but
I want to tell somebody picking jump through the window. You know that you figure out that song.
no, I don't want to talk about that song. That song, that noisy song. I don't want to be in that kind of song.
It's not like say you must die, you must die, you must willing.
I don't want to be in that kind of song. I don't want.
Okay. Don't worry. That one part.
Don't worry. I can take it. No problem. Boy, welcome to the show. Yvonne, welcome to the show. Tapla, welcome to the show.
You know what I want, Steve? I want to let Facebook put this guy back in jail.
Who?
Victor.
Batakoli?
Yeah, I want to
No.
go back.
No. The member well behaved.
I don't know whoever can report the man away.
The member very smart. The member ready in Pele because Mazaka can understand Pele. So the member dropping the thing in Pele when ready get dropping.
I want Victor to go back to jail.
Harris Tucker, welcome to the show. Lawrence,
Victor,
welcome to the show. My cousin Love, welcome to the show. Lawrence, welcome to the show. Who else? Leave it up, Batakoli. Right now, without Sonny, leave it up. Who there?
Sekou Keita.
Hold on. I jump with some people. I won't get in trouble. Okay, Lawrence. Bill Carson did that team, man. Because I see all of them, the small one, the big one, the fat one, the skinny one, nobody not get sense. I see. Because the father, even in that company, there's something wrong with you.
No, Bill Carson.
Bobby Bonnie, don't forget about that team. Lead that team. So long you there, you go.
But I'm gonna get roof there to you. I think it's a roof that number one.
Benjamin, roof can only chauffeur the future on a cover. Lead that team. We know all the pronouns now. It getting serious. Roof that used to be the
I disagree with you.
Hey,
I disagree with you. You know the troublemaker on this platform here? That Bobby Benito. That became from Belgium.
Who the honorable?
No, the one that what kind of honorable? They met the only Zogo honorable I can see him in my life.
Say Joe, we have to power the honorable and in Barcelona.
They're honorable Benito. They're the only Zogo honorable I ever see.
Benjamin Jonas here. Benjamin Jonas will know you here. Martin, welcome to the show. Who there? They talk about that one will protest the Megan Wadigan. The Megan Wadigan. Who that?
Amen.
Let name there not easy today. Uzanik, welcome to the show.
If you can't pronounce any name,
Siata, welcome to the show. No.
What are you? You know how you can slaughter name? You're calling the middle. Because some people didn't can be too long. And me, I don't go to
They ambassador Ronald guy, he been looking for my attention and my board, man. Ambassador, do that thing. I limited, no problem. You stay my board. No wala. We move.
Limited for what now?
Like now we move. That because I see Shannon.
All the ambassador, all the plenty ambassador there.
That the program will begin constitution by extension.
That is self-declared ambassador. Self-appointed ambassadors.
That's why the job we are increasing the amount of ambassador should be in our country. Let them enjoy this. Nobody worry about it. We good. We move. Yeah, but Mr. Kind of back to you.
We got to start this conversation, man, because
somebody said, "1T M Clark, sorry, mama. Sorry. I beg you. I jump over some point in that too.
Momo Nelson a town.
Momo Nelson, sorry, Chief, a town. We know. We just taking a few seconds more. We behave. We put ourselves together. Steve H. Kumar. Let me make sure I'm John one nobody name.
But I don't need John over any name now. If you John over any, that means you didn't say anything, so we can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that means you scared. You watching on a call. You watching on your fake page. Watching on Disney. Will not get problem. Yeah, Mr. Kind of back to you. Me, I just here today.
Okay, folks. Again, we say what's the way forward, and as I said earlier, this is not limited to only opposition or government. um, the way forward for our country. It means that what did you learn from your mistakes, or what did you do better, and you can double up and or multiply as many times as you can, so that the good things can overcome the big, the bad ones. So the way forward, it means that what can you do to be tolerant with each other? What can you do that we can pull Liberia first? Right now, if you ask me what's the way forward, I will go back to what we said earlier. Almost 2-3 years ago, it's being tolerant. It's being able to accept each other regardless of our political orientation, regardless of who you support. At least let's be able to have conversation without being so personal to the extent where we even wish death for each other, to the extent where you want to see somebody die, to the extent where when somebody dies, they don't even sympathize with you. They say it's good for you because you betray us politically. That kind of wicked mindset. I think that is something that people should put behind them. People being able to work each other, play with each other, joke with each other, even when you're in different political party. Where in ANC people can be working, TDC people, Unity Party people, Liberty Party people, just like that. Share fun. And still have your political differences. Being able to disagree, have political argument, and make your arguments based on facts, make your argument with smile, without insulting each other. People have to develop their minds, Steve. Some people are only attracted to people who insult other people. For example, most of the talk show hosts, the one that can discuss issues, are not too many. And most of them will have limited number of people watching. Our people gravitate towards insult, disrespect, and hatred. They have fun. They can have fun when they see somebody disrespect or insulting other people. If we want to change Liberia, we want real good politics in Liberia, let's behave like people here in America. For example, George Conway. I don't know if you know George Conway. The lady that talk about alternative facts.
That Kellyanne Conway's husband.
I'm talking about Kellyanne Conway. The lady who talk about alternative facts.
Yeah.
Her husband. While the lady was still serving in Trump's government, advisor to the president, working in the White House, the guy was on the other side insulting the president, criticizing the president every day. Imagine his wife serving in that government. He is a Republican. But they believe they are conservative Republican. They believe Trump and his surrounding are not conservative enough. But the husband and wife, they disagree. At the same time, they're living their life as partners. That's the kind of Liberia I want to see. Where in opposition and CDCN can sit down in one place and share, tea, drink tea together. But nowadays in Liberia, they say, if you're opposition, you go sit down with CDCN, they say, oh, you must sit down, if you tell African, they will put poison in your food. They will kill you. What kind of mindset? Or if you CDCN, you go to opposition, no, they will kill you, put something in your food. This kind of mindset, Steve. That I think the way forward. That is the humanity part of it. But in terms of politics, the way forward is voter education. Voter education. Telling the people reasons why they need to vote the right way. Making a case. Yeah, you can criticize the government all you want. You can say everything about the government, that's okay. But tell the voters, what are you going to do different? How are you going to do it differently? Making the case. So I think that's the way forward, Steve. Making the case to the people. Show them alternative. Show them what you can do differently. Yeah, like I've been saying, Georgia government is not off the hook. They might win one election, but that's not it. The real election is coming. And there's no guarantee they can win. But if the opposition fail to make the case, then you're giving them the opportunity to win the game. So he asked me what's the way forward. I think that is the way forward. My question to you now is, what is your way forward? What do you think is the way forward for Liberia?
Well, the way forward could be relative, but I think from a realistic standpoint, the way forward is for us to, first of all, uncover those troublemakers that are planted within the opposition and expose them. I think that's the way forward. I think that is the way forward. Because once they're around, things will never go the way it's supposed to go. There are some serious traitors amongst the opposition. There are some young men who are belly-driven. They are grown crooks. They will never change because that is the only job they know how to do. They lie. They blackmail people. They collect money from here. They collect money from there. They're not one person. There's a web of them. There's a group of them. And that's what they're doing. Their hands are in all kinds of shenanigans. They are the ones stirring this pot. They are the ones creating the problems. They are the ones. There are a couple of them. They have influenced one or two women as well to follow them, to support them. And one minute you see the inconsistency in their behavior, their actions. These people must be exposed. First of all, first thing first. Let me say this. If you're for the government, you're for the government. You're right. There's nothing wrong with it. I respect people who even come up and say they're for the government. I respect them. But you can't be playing those games. You're collecting money from the government.
Hold on one second. Benito, once again, I'll block you from this platform for a very long, maybe a year. You are not a civilized human being. When you come, have your conversation. If you disagree, that's fine. If you have something to say, when we open the line, you call in. But coming here to be insulting people, the next time you do it, I'm going to block you from this platform forever, and you will never see this platform again. I don't know where you're smoking. You just come here and start insulting people. You can't do that. I was joking with you first, but you can't continue to insult people. If you come here, you got nothing to offer, just sit and watch. But it looks like civilization is not part of your DNA. And this platform does not belong to people like that. If you insult anybody, you can do whatever you want to do. Support do anything for that's fine. But if you continue to insult people, this is the final warning for you. I'll block you for over a year. And we decided to unblock all of you guys that were blocked for some time. But if you're going to continue to do that, then today will be the last day for you on this platform. One more in short. That's it. Why, Steve? Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. So, like I was saying, the way forward is to point out some of these guys who are claiming to be opposition and to keep them away from the opposition. Simple, point blank and period. If the opposition wants to be serious, that's for the opposition side. If the opposition wants to be serious, listen, I could care less if they desire to unite. If the Unity Party and the ANC desire, I could care less. And I'm a business. I'm not here to say you're unite or don't unite. I'm not here for that. But I'm saying where the problem is, we need to get to the bottom of it, and we cannot ignore that problem. I give you a typical example. Costa claims he supports the Unity Party. The Unity Party is in yo-yo or in a situation, in a quagmire. Instead of talking about the Unity Party situation that's going on, instead of showing support for them, and he passing around distracting all of his constitution that he can think for and make decisions for, that all of them are afraid. Like some of them in America, they got their own job, their own home, their children, their family, everything. But anything he said, that the same thing they regurgitate, whether they chew or they lie, they pass around. And most of the times, 99% of the time, that's total lies. That the same thing they're writing, that the same thing they're saying, that it becomes a talking point. And the kind of people that you supposed to sit down and say they're serious people is all being opposition. If Unity Party people are really, really serious for you, they'll be calling him out for this nonsense. Ain't he the biggest mouthpiece? Why he not talking about it? Ain't he passing around talking about Musa Belete, passing around talking about the other Zolizo, passing around talking about the other one, just distracting, but to tell the truth. He not want talking. To say the exact thing that's going on, he don't want to say it. But they're saying that they're blaming other people. So you say, as people talking, and the people should just come together and they should just unite. No, that is not true, my people. That is not true. Even if the opposition unites, the reason for which they're uniting, if it's not genuine and you still have these guys there, they will break away again. There will always be problem. There will always be problem. So the issue about moving forward, Mr. Kane, is first of all identifying the people who are creating problems. You have to identify them. Because when you build anything, you have these kind of people in there who do not, come in willingly to do what is right. Let me tell you something, Mr. Kane. Some of these guys, their minds are made up. Their minds are made up. This is how these guys survive. That's all they know how to do. Create chaos, play games, collect money here, collect money there, and just play the funny little games. That's how they survive. So for them, this kind of chaotic situation is suitable for them, that the kind of environment they thrive in, that the kind of environment they live in and they survive in. And so identifying these people will be critically important for the moving forward of the opposition, especially the opposition. I'm not talking about the CDC yet, because I'll get to the CDC. Especially the opposition, Mr. Kane. This is where the problem lies. The problem is not in their supporters. No, the problem is not. The problem is just in one or two of these few guys. That's it. Once you identify them and you pinpoint them and you continue to let the people know who they are and distance yourself from them, I'll say this to you, Mr. Kane. It is so pathetic. It is so sorrowful to see some opposition leaders, grown men and women, are sucking up to some of these guys. They're afraid that these guys will tell their secret outside. So anything they say, they go with the flow.
They're just afraid of bullying. They're afraid of the bullies.
I don't want the bullies. The fact, let me say this, Mr. Kane. I've always said this thing. If me and you go somewhere, God forbid, and we do what is wrong, you got something over me, or I got something over you. If your friendship with somebody is based on something that they got over you, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. You are in trouble. Or your relationship with somebody cannot be based on what they have after you or over you. So you see, this is where the problem lies. And some of these guys, look, let me tell you something. Some Unity Party partisans, some of the leaders, they hate Costa's God. But you know what? For them now, it benefits them. For you to keep playing games with them. So they're just going with the flow now. Oh, they hate God. But they're not men and women enough. Those are the problematic people. I'm yet to see Joseph Human Boyka telling Costa to cut the crap out.
You can.
And we're supposed to be serious?
He
We
can.
supposed to look at the place Unity Party is right now. If Unity Party needs anybody to talk for them, anyone need a loud mouth, the man who resurrected them. But look at what the man is doing. Passing around talking things that don't even make any sense. Distracting the public.
But behind the scene, the man is even telling them to accept the defeat and move on.
Yeah, and what the man calls it what I want.
Behind the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, but behind the scene, he's telling the people that it's okay. This thing here, in fact, there was some maybe there was some irregularity, maybe there was some cheating, but it was not enough. It's not enough. We do not have enough evidence to prove that they were cheating. You know that you're saying that behind the scene, but then in public, you come in to tell the people, say, you were cheated. You should not accept it.
Right.
The result. But then behind the scene, you go tell the people, say, let's accept it and move on. I don't know.
Yeah, because they want to keep playing games. They want to keep playing these people, and they don't want to wake up from their slumbers or the reality. They don't want to come to terms with reality. They're blaming everybody else. Then right in front of them, what is there? The problem that is there. They don't want to face in the facts. Because again, like you said, some of them are afraid of being bullied. Some of them are afraid. Seriously? I'm supposed to be afraid of anybody.
And bottom line is they are not leaders.
Simple. I'm supposed to be afraid of anybody coming out and talking, say you want to say something, go say what you want to say. But in fact, when you are saying it, it's good. There's no problem. Nope, I'm not going to take anything personal with you. So these are some of the problems. That's what's stalling the opposition. That's what's keeping the opposition where it is today. You get a whole political party, put all their faith in one person or one group of people. Seriously?
Because there's nobody there, Steve. I've said it before. Unity Party.
It's trouble, man.
There's nobody.
It's trouble.
Let me when you see Unity Party standard bearer or Unity Party political leader coming to the United States and owning, managed by Costa alone, it means there's nobody in the Unity Party, whether in the United States or here, that is capable of managing the affairs of the party. All the other guys, they talk loud on Facebook, but they're nothing. I'm telling the truth. They are all followers. They are not leaders. That's why I've said over and again that Mr. Ambassador Boakai was a victim. I know what happened. Ambassador Boakai must have spoke and when he Liberia. When he came back, when he came to the United States, I know what happened. When he went back, we spoke. And I know what happened. Seriously speaking, the party has serious problem. And not only the party, I've told you this before. One of the reasons why things are going the way they are is because of the CDC ability to infiltrate the opposition, specifically the Unity Party, through Benina Ure and Costa. To some people in the UP, they think Benina Ure and Costa are assets for them, are supposed to be in a liability. To some of them, the only person that can defend them or that can talk for them is Costa. And Costa does not build any logic. He doesn't talk, it doesn't make any sense. All he does is to insult people. If you're not insulting, we are insulting commies. That's not going to win you vote. They're going to just create a lot of hatred for you. Imagine, this guy has no old friends. He fights with everybody. He insults anybody. He doesn't respect friendship. He doesn't care about friendship. He doesn't care about people who have done stuff for him. He will not know today. He will not know money. For that kind of person, that kind of individual to be the face of your movement, of your party, of your institution, it says a lot about you. How come you are not able to detect, to understand what this person is doing? Oh, okay, you like it because the gun is not directed at you. But mind you, that's why this guy threatened every day. He said, no one, no peace. A young man pay peace will come. I will turn against you, because he doesn't want to see the opposition moving forward. The day I say, you're coming make peace, opposition, I will go against you. Just trying to find an excuse to openly support the CDC. Who will be in an institution or in an organization you say don't want peace? Tell me about it if you're intelligent. Who will be in an institution who will say, you know what, okay, fighting, what are you fighting the people for? What are you fighting for? If you're fighting for Liberia, for a better Liberia, everybody agree that Liberia is not going to move forward, that opposition will not make impact when they are disorganized. Opposition will not make impact when they are not united. You know that, and then you're saying, I don't want to see unity. So you people who follow him, you need to think. Everybody agree that opposition can only make progress when they are united. But the other man is saying, if you ever try to get united, I will go against you. So the person is telling you directly that I don't want to see you make progress. But Steve is very, very disheartening and pathetic, like he said. That grown men and women in the opposition will follow and listen to this guy and allow him to be their mouthpiece. One time, somebody said, Sekou, you say Costa is nothing, but why you say he destroyed the opposition? Let me respond to that person. It's very easy to destroy, and it's very hard to fix things. Furthermore, if you are a destructive element, if you are a disgruntled element who try to destroy everything, and you have certain people that believe in you, and those people are part of making things happen, and you influence them. Somebody told me, say, do not underestimate the power of stupid people when they are in number.
Yep.
They say, do not underestimate the power of stupid people when they are in number. It doesn't mean they are right. But if they are directed by someone who is destructive and they don't have the common sense, the mental capacity to understand that this person is not a good person, if they don't have that mental capacity to understand that, they don't have that analytical skill to understand the behavior or to study the behavior of this person, they will follow. And then they become a problem for everybody in the society. Because they are a bunch of stupid people. They follow one stupid person. But because of their number and because they're being a part of you, they will hinder your progress.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
And that's exactly what's going on. That is the goal. When we tell them, they say we hate this person, we hate that group of people, Mr. Kane. But that is exactly what's being done from a strategic standpoint. And that is, let me tell you something. The what you call the CDC-led government knows exactly that there is in no way, shape, or form. There is in no way, shape, or form Costa can make anybody to win any election. It's not possible. You know why it's not possible? He has not proven to do so. in his entire life as of yet to make anybody to win any election. But what they have been able to pinpoint and understand is he is able, along with few of his constitutions, to be able to create noise and chaos. And he shamelessly, it comes back to be a lie. He continues because that's how he was trained. That's what he was trained to do. And that's what he does. That's fine. That's his choice. That's his choice. No problem with that. In as much as it's dangerous, but then people got to wake up. So what the CDC has done, they have hired him to continue to create that kind of noise. He's a mole and a spy in the opposition community. And there are a couple of them. Some of them are operating undercover and so forth. And so these guys need to be identified, brought to the public. And some of these political leaders, if they're serious about Liberia, if this is truly about Liberia, then what they need to do is to cut this thing out, cut ties with this man, and keep it moving if they want to be serious. But I can say to you, though, I can say to you in the public today, and I will be on record for this 1 year, the United Party is in serious trouble. Let them overlook it. Let them keep fooling around and keep doing this. They think this is a hit against them. This is not a hit against them. The sooner they wake up from their slumber and they start to react, they will wake up one morning, the party would have been sold and totally under the control of CDC. Watch and see. They have no clue what they are doing. They have no clue. They have no clue what they are in. And they think they are smart because they get this bunch of people who are running who don't even love this United Party. If you really think this guy loves the United Party, but why is he distracting? Why is he not focused on the United Party's fight today? Why? Why is he not focusing on the thing that is going on within the United Party? Why? Why is he distracting? Why is he passing around the place talking a bunch of nonsense that make no sense? When he moves from the other thing, when it doesn't hold water, because some of his minions pass around, people that are sucking up to him, when he passes around and says this thing, they take it the wrong way. And the other person are like that, and the other thing are like that. Today's Olizo, tomorrow is about Musa Benede, the after tomorrow is about I get a bone shell. No, don't make no sense. They're all around the place. But the main issue that is there, when you move from that corner, tell them I get other place, oh, they forget about the poor man, they will not do nothing. Oh, they forget about the man, they'll leave it, you're finna winning that thing. When people talk, he insults them. And they think this is a joke. They think this is a joke.
Steve, let me tell you something. You know what's funny? There are some Liberians who believe that because this guy insults, or used to insult the president, now he's talking for the Liberian people. No, that's not talking for the Liberian people. That's being very stupid. Insulting the president does not make you to be talking for the Liberian people. In fact, this guy will go on the rampage to insult the president just to get the president's attention. When you want money, to get the president's attention. And McGill will get his attention. He will get McGill attention, and then they will give him money to be quiet. Just a few weeks ago, you could see this guy, how excited he was to receive a call from the president.
Magnanimous, mature, talking a bunch of foolishness.
So you saw that, right? And that is because that's all he wants. He wants to get the attention of the president, and he wants to be the kingmaker in the opposition at the same time, so that he can play both ways, get money from the government to say, you know what, this is not going to go anywhere. But at the same time, you want to be like seen by people in the opposition as their men. But I said this before. I don't think, in as much as I would love to see a united opposition so that we can see a competitive election, because it is the choice of the Liberian people as to who they can vote for. But I would like to see, as much as I would like to see a competitive election, I want to see a unified opposition. But I can tell you, as long as this guy continues to be the mouthpiece for the Unity Party and ALP combined, if any opposition want to make progress, you should move forward without the Unity Party and the ALP. If you say you want to make peace, you will say you want to go to Costa and the Unity Party. you're not going to make any progress because they're not going anywhere. As dead as the ALP remains, United Party is about to be buried. Their mission is to kill the opposition. Think about this. Since the birth of the ALP, what is the progress in terms of membership? What is the progress in terms of representation? What is the progress in any capacity in Liberia? Tell me one. Tell me one. What is the progress of the ALP that this man affiliates with? He is like maybe, as far as I know, ALP, that 3 people party. Benina Ure and his 2 children. Benina Ure, Costa, Tilia Ure. Since the birth of ALP, tell me the progress they have made. So I don't know what people can understand. Oh, Costa get followers, Costa get people, Costa get this. Okay, why can we are not seeing that in the development of the party he affiliates with? How come a lot of people not joining his party? How come people are not even brave enough to go and affiliate with the party he affiliates with? How come that party is not growing?
Get people where? That's a scam.
Since the birth of that ALP, all the money, Liberian people like money so much, I know. But all the money, how come their party is not growing? ANC that just started yesterday came and passed them in 2017 election after just being around for less than a year or 2. Not only that, today, if you count today, political parties in Liberia, when you say CDC, you will say United Party, you will say ANC, and then Liberty Party. Before the disintegration of the Liberty Party, it used to be CDC, United Party, Liberty Party, and the ANC. So where is the power? What is the significance of the so-called power and followers? How come people who don't have analytical skills to understand these things, Steve? Because if I say, look, let's say for example, when we started doing the show, we were all doing it. Majority of the people, everybody doing it on the phone. Even to dress nicely and responsibly, we started it, and a lot of people adopted it. That is development. To move to these kinds of platforms, we were one of those that started it, and a lot of people follow. That is development. But when you were born, you were on the floor, and you remain on the floor for ages with no development. So, see, what I'm trying to say here, just a minute, is that the so-called power and follower and supporters is just left. It's complete. It's fake. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. That's why this guy gets agitated so much when you want to talk about him, his life, his behavior. He gets so agitated. All you do is to insult you. But that's just the fact about him. Everything about him is about insulting people. You be afraid of him, you give him money, he'll be quiet. I will destroy this person just to insult people. And the reason why he thinks he's doing the right thing, because he has 80% of people, like, somebody said 80%, Costa is smarter than 80% of his followers, which I agree with 100%. And not only his followers, but even people that think that they are using him, he's smarter than them. Because this guy will continue to drag you down. The ALP is not making any progress. They're not going anywhere. Now he's dragging the Liberty Party down to the sea level. Liberty Party is almost there now. Liberty Party is almost there. Liberty Party is going to be dead and buried soon, very soon. If you continue to perambulate the country with Costa and Benina Ure, you'll be nowhere in a few days. So in short, Steve, if opposition want to make progress, trust me, let them forget about Costa. Let them forget about Benina Ure. Let them go to the CDC. You know what? CDC will not embrace them openly. They can only use them behind the scene. Nobody want that. The only person that want it and accepting it, and that person doing it on to themselves. That's JNB. JNB does not know that having Costa to his circle is a demotion for him. He doesn't understand that.
Mr. Kane, I would disagree with you.
He doesn't know that. He think Costa and Ure are access to him.
I would disagree
But
with you.
they are a problem for him.
On that particular one, I would
They are
disagree with you.
distraction. They are things that can drive people away from him. Any decent person don't want to associate with them. Why is there a CDC using him behind the scene? They don't want to bring him in the open. So if the opposition want to make progress, let him be. Let him be. Let him just go draw far away from them. Benina Ure and Costa and see what happens. But let me tell you something. You just said it earlier today. In a minute, the Unity Party will go down. And you know who's going to kill it? Costa and Ure. And in the end, CDC will buy them. And they will be with the CDC.
Look, Mr. Kane, this issue of trying to exclude Vice President Joseph Numa Boakai from all of these little games that are being played, I will not excuse him from it. Vice President Joseph Numa Boakai has a record, or is in a constant habit of supporting this kind of nonsense more than once. I give you as evidenced by Mo Ali came on this show. We're asking about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the accusation against Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He said he wouldn't answer the question. In fact, he got pissed off and almost went out of character when he was pushed on it. Who was the standard bearer at that time that was pushing Mo Ali behind closed door to carry on the accusation? It was Joseph Numa Boakai. He has always stood by, throw rocks and high hands and things that he would benefit from it. He knows better. As a matter of fact, he's one of the odious politicians alive. He knows. So he knows exactly what's going on. He thinks it benefits him at this point, but guess what? He will learn. You will learn. You will learn that these boys are groom crooks. They will never change, and they will screw him over. And that's exactly what happened here in Unity Party. That's exactly what happening to them. Because if as people claim that age would be wisdom, the first thing Vice President Joseph Numa Boakai would have done is to tell these guys to stop this, to stop the attacks, stop this one, stop that one, and be the leader he's supposed to be. He has never done that. As a matter of fact, he went on the floor with Benina Ure. You see Vice President Joseph Numa Boakai being pushed around by Sereno Cephas and CDC, and he went with the flow. That's why when I see these Unity Party partisans and some Joseph Numa Boakai supporters saying we should declare a national holiday because they got flogged in Lofa, I look at them for long and laugh. Where? Declare national holiday for what? People should laugh. People should smile. People should be happy that they got flogged if they want to be happy. There is nothing wrong with it. Look, it's not a national holiday. When they're supposed to focus, they weren't focused. Also, when they went to the court and they were cheering, row. Unity Party partisans were there. They were doing that. Oh, it was not national holiday. Y'all leave that thing. They sing road again, Monge again, baboon. Y'all forget about that other thing. The only thing I'm saying here is this: the sooner they wake up to save the party, we are giving the alarm again. They're taking it personal and they think we're against them. They're calling people ANC man and Cummins man, and Cummins did one and Cummins did that one. They're starting again. The same thing we told them, we gave them the lamp in Lofa. Y'all wake up. They didn't listen. They got flogged. They're passing around, throwing the blame on everybody else. They're taking any kind of responsibility. We are here today again telling y'all, my people, y'all wake up. The party is being sold on your feet. Y'all wake up. I'm saying it. I don't have anything against United Party or to say Human Podcast. But the facts will be the facts. Y'all wake up. These guys are selling this party. They're destroying this party. You think that other people are destroying the Unity Party. Y'all wake up, UP people. Those of you who love the UP, y'all wake up and stand up. Stand up for what is right. Y'all make it clear. Let me come to the CDC about the way forward. Them. There is no way forward for CDC. Mr. Cannon. There is no way forward for CDC. CDC is a criminal enterprise that will never change. I am saying to you, there is no way forward for them. There is no way forward for them. CDC is a criminal enterprise that will never change. Never, ever. Look, Mr. Cannon, these guys, the CDC, I don't want to waste my time discussing them, but I have to point it out. I will stand with what I say, and I take full responsibility for what I say here today. The CDC will never change in a million years because you know why? They don't know how to do the job. They compensate the ineptitude for stealing. Simple. That is just the biggest mistake. And you can't teach old jacks new tricks. It's not possible. You can't teach an old jack new tricks. That is not possible. There is nothing CDC will change.
Why you say the CDC will not move forward? Will not move forward? What do you mean by that? You think the CDC will not change? I mean, even if the way they do things does not change, the way they play politics could change. And Liberian people, can vote for anybody.
Let me say this to you, Mr. Cannon. The people CDC learned from were professional criminals, and they are still professional criminals. CDC that the raw Zogo or the raw criminal. Are the difference between the United Party and the CDC? United Party, professional criminals. CDC, they're raw. They're not professionals, so they don't know how to maneuver some of this money around and do whatever it is. So you see that you catch them in the act. This is different, but they're the same. That's why I have openly called to the Liberian people that they should not vote any one of them, both the CDC and the United Party. Let them go sit down.
What about Liberian people then that don't really care about who's stealing or where they're getting the money from? They wouldn't care about development. Like say, for example, like say in Lofa County, in Foya, nobody care where Thomas Fowler got the money from, where CDC got the money from. As long as they carry development in their county, the people say, our children have come, they are doing, work in our country, so, we can vote for them. So maybe you're not sitting here, understand the corruption part of it, knowing that some of the people never had the money and overnight they got rich. They are now millionaires and doing anything they want to do in Liberia with money, carry on development and other stuff. How can you convince a man all the way in Foya, in Vahun, or maybe in my own village in Pain, that these people that are coming here to make development in your country, they stole the money from you, they stole the money from the country. Don't vote for them. How can you convince them? They want to focus on development, little development. They don't care about how they pocket the money. How do you convince those people?
Mr. Kane, there are two things. I don't really think the Liberian people don't care about how people get the money and develop it. I don't think the CDC backed candidate, independent candidates last CDC backed, won the senatorial election in Lofa County because of development. I don't want to think so. He won that election because of several factors, such as his acquaintances with the people. He's ran in Lofa for about 3 to 4 times, came second most of the times. The people know him. The United Party candidate that was selected or that they backed was just a wrong one. He was a miscalculation. On top of it,
CDC and then went back to UP.
Exactly. On top of it, the lackadaisical behavior of the Unity Party contributed to the loss hugely. The Unity Party could have easily won this thing had they even invested time going to visit the people, spending time with the people a month or couple of weeks before the election. It would have done that. It would have done that. It would have helped a lot, Mr. Kane. It would have made a huge difference. They didn't do that. They were so overly confident. They thought they had this thing. They forgot about themselves. They were so relaxed. So let's come back to the issue of the CDC and development. Let me say this to the Liberian people. I am aware for a fact that the Liberian people, the so-called development that CDC is carrying on, the Liberian people don't want CDC. The Liberian people do not want CDC. It's a shame on Joseph Jala to get the confidence of the Liberian people based on independent status, based on his connection with the people from Lofa County, and turned around and went and joined CDC. But we got news for him.
Because he already got 9 years now, so he doesn't care what people anymore.
We got news for him. We got news for Councillor Jala. We got news for Councillor Jala. Mr. Kane, we're not drinking the soup here when he had. Right now he had the ball in his court, so he's jumping around and thinking that he's the man in the town. It's okay. We got news for him. We got news for him. The same way we got news for what the guy named Steve Zago. We got news for him. So I'm saying that there is no way. Let me tell you something. The CDC understands that they are unpopular, that there is nothing they can do. That there is nothing they can do for the Liberian people to select them. Somebody is saying, I wanted to read something about somebody. In as much I don't want to pay attention, but I want to clarify something. Somebody said, well, these are opinion, these are not facts. Let me tell you something. Some things are facts, they're not opinion. I am a man, I was born a man, it's a fact. I can't say it's an opinion because it's a fact. I was born a man. If I choose to turn to be a woman, that will be a choice. It does not negate the fact that I was born a woman. The fact here is CDC is a criminal enterprise. They will not change. That is a fact. They've had 5 years to prove themselves. They have not been able to change to prove themselves to the Liberian people. There has been one corruption scandal to another on a daily basis. The ineptitude, the incompetence have shown overall. Now, you think about it. If you were to get these guys another 6 years where they have nothing to lose, think about it. They have everything to lose. They have demonstrated a don't care attitude. They have demonstrated ineptitude, incompetence, criminality to the highest degree. And you are telling me, say, I should come and say, oh, it's an opinion. No, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. These things are facts. And we must come to terms with reality. Look, we're not going to make excuses here for anybody. So the CDC is rejected. The CDC is rejected. They know that. They understand that. There is no other thing you see Thomas Fala doing in Lofa or whatever it is. And I listened to Yeke who said he only appears in the house. This is disgraceful. Thomas Fala only appears when it's time for them to talk about budget because they won't recast the budget again. In less than 4 months of them pulling out this budget, they want to recast it when we told them that it was not feasible, it was not possible on this budget that is pulled up. So you see, all of these different things put together, Thomas Fala show face in there. But here's what's interesting, Mr. Kane. Here's what's interesting. People are not paying attention to something CDC is doing. All of these guys are securing something so that when they leave from power, they can run to. Thomas Fala's move in Lofa County, it was not an investment into this election. That's what people don't even know. It might have seemed like it because of the timing. Thomas Fala saw a perfect opportunity to invest in Lofa, in logging, and in other things. And in subsequent time, we'll talk about what Thomas Fala's strategy is and where he's going with this. We'll talk about it. Thomas Fala is securing the bag for himself. Thomas Fala is not securing the bag for CDC. As a matter of fact, Thomas Fala will more likely to leave politics very soon. People think this is a joke. Thomas Fala wants to insert himself in Lofa. If the United Party were innovative, they were thinking far enough, even after the defeat, what would he be doing to reclaim Lofa County? You got somebody like what a Bernie Samuka, who has a compelling case to make to the Lofians so that he can become the king's maker when Joseph Walker leaves the scene. They're not even investing in that. They're not even exploring those opportunities. They're not looking at it. They're not proactive. They're not thinking in that. They're not thinking on that. All they're thinking about is blaming other people. And I heard one of their talk show hosts yesterday talking about, Joseph Walker will win Lofa County. He will win Bon County. I said, look at the kind of delusional thinking. Look at you. How you winning now? How you winning? How? He asleep? How? How you winning? What are you guys doing?
Okay, but let me ask you now, Steve. If you look at Liberia today, many people, if you ask them about politics, who you going to vote for, who you think can win 2023. You will hear George Weah, you will hear Boakai, and sometimes before you hear Cummings. People are saying when it comes to name recognitions, Cummings is nowhere. Are they underestimating the strength of Cummings? Or Cummings could surprise people? I don't know. Because the similar thing that I heard before, during the first campaign of Dillon and the second campaign, especially the second campaign, we were told that Dillon can only win on Facebook. That if election is held today, Dillon can win on the internet and Facebook. We are hearing a similar thing now about Cummings. That if election is held today, Cummings can win on Facebook. But then Dillon end up not winning only on Facebook. He won twice in Liberia. You think they are underestimating Cummings' power, or people are not saying it? I don't know. What do you think?
Let me tell you something. There is a saying that we say in Liberia. I'll say both ways for both genders. We say the men that will take a woman from you, when you see that man, you know that man. Or the woman that will take a man from you, when you see that woman, you know that woman. How about no heaven, no? All of those things are just distraction. What I don't pay attention to is this. You must pay attention to certain people. You must pay attention to certain people. People that don't speak loosely. People that have track record of backing what they say in their words. People that have track record of fighting and winning. People that have track record of tackling problems. Solution-oriented, goal-driven. Be careful with those people. People that set goals and they say, I would meet this goal, and they follow that goal and they will meet it. Be careful with these people. I've said this once, and I'll say it again. I'm not an ANC member. I have not officially declared whether I will support Cummings for the presidency or not. I have not officially done that. I've heard people claim that I'm an ANC man. That's fine. It is their right to claim whatever they want to claim. I've heard people say, oh, you're Cummings speaking, you're Cummings man, you're Cummings there, ANC, you're ANC TV, whatever. Fine. But this is what I want to say to you. All of you that will listen to this or that are listening to this, I want you to go back and pay attention keenly to people who have spoken. See how they live up to the words. Because when people speak that one thing, how they live up to what they've said in public, or what they say in public if it has come to pass. We who are Christian, there is a scripture in Acts. I can't quote it. There is a scripture in Acts. I can't quote it. I can't remember it now off the top of my head, but it talks about how when the Christians went to listen to the people, I think it's in Acts 11 or something, how when a Christian went to listen to the people that were preaching to them, Paul said to them, everything that the people say to you, go research the scripture to see if it is true. The reason I'm making this comparison is this. I want us to go back to what Mr. Cummings has said. Go back to what he has said. See the things he has said. If he has not worked towards it or he has not kept those things, then you can start to discredit him or downplay him. Cummings said to us that he will beat the case. He didn't tell you how he will beat the case. He didn't say it. He didn't say how he would have won that bogus case that was against him. He didn't tell you. But he said he will beat the case and he will prove to the Liberian people that he was not guilty. Ain't happened.
It happened.
Cummings said, go back. When the elections were coming, that the CPP would have fought to win lots of seats. Go listen to the press conference. What happened? And they went to the elections, the CPP won lots of seats.
Yes.
Don't take certain people for granted. People who have results. I'm not talking about Sereno Sifode, I'm not talking about Samuel Twede, I'm not talking about people who have no track record of any kind of result, that don't understand the issue, they don't know. Let me tell you something. It's about resources and connection. Yesterday, I sat in some kind of meeting. I'll give the analogy. Yesterday, I sat in some kind of meeting. in a meeting, there's this guy that walked in. Very simple, very simple guy. He walked in. There is no way you can sense that this guy was the executive director of wherever we were. There is no way you can sense it because it ain't show. The man walking with rampart chair on, you know what I mean? With Babati slipper, the thrift store slipper, just simple. And he wrote on the board. He wrote on the board. He said, he said, you can achieve this goal if you're persistent, consistent. You have the network, you have the resources, you have the necessary connection. You can achieve those goals. That was all his statement to us, and he went back. That was it. He said, as leaders, you can achieve those goals. He wrote that. So I started thinking about it. It played on my mind. When I called you yesterday, and I said I was going to stop by, he said, oh, once you get up from your nap, you will hit me up. I had just come from that meeting, Mr. Kane. The reason I'm saying this is this. Be careful. Mr. Alexander Cummings could pull this thing off right under your nose. You might not like it, but it will be what he said a few weeks ago. Remember, he made a statement. He said the CPP will win the next election. He said that.
Yeah, he said
I was
that.
watching. He made a move yesterday that was very strategic. It don't make any sense what he did, but I understand the reasoning behind it. I understand the strategy. Here is a man that is connecting. They had a meeting in Germany. He posted it. He posted some of the leaders around the world, former leaders and so forth. This guy is up to something. Pay attention to him. Don't underestimate him. You might not like him. You might not want to support him. He might not be your favorite person. But pay attention. Pay keen attention to him. Pay very, very, I'm saying it. We're 15 months away or 16 months away from the election. This guy is moving some things on the chessboard that people are not paying attention to. They're all in the feelings. Martin Kula was here last Thursday, on Monday. Martin Kula said, the CPP is drafting the document. Coincidentally, Cummings is abroad, Tawan Gonglo is abroad, Alaric Topa is abroad. All of them are here. What are the odds? Somebody called me from Washington, D.C. and said something interesting to me. That Tawan Gonglo was around somewhere in D.C. I'm not going to go into details. Somebody also called me that the stuff that they had in the ANC had in Florida. Mr. Cummings, by the note for the record, we are Cummings people, but we're not in Florida. We're Cummings people. We have not been to any of the event officially, but we're still Cummings people, right? Cool. But let's move forward. Cummings had to leave that place because he had an important meeting. Okay. I started to put some pieces together. I want to say this again.
I thought it was in Italy. Yesterday.
Leave that thing. Leave that thing. Forget about that thing. So talk then, we're not talking in public. Leave that other talk. But here's the issue. Here's what I'm saying to you. Here is what I'm saying to you. You might not like him. You might not want him to be president. He might not be your candidate of choice. That is acceptable. That is your right. You can pick. It's okay. But what you need to do is to pay attention. You cannot overlook the influence, the connection, and the resources this man has. And you don't want to play with that. You do not want to play with that. You don't know where the connection will come from. You don't know what could happen in the next few days. Oh, but I also got a cool news for our uncle there. Our uncle there bound. My boys in CDC. I also got a cool news for them.
Okay.
And I wrote on my page.
And what is it?
Well, the good news is, first of all, they failed the Melanie Challenge again for the 5th time in a row. Second of all, this thing has wrapped up. In the next few weeks, more pressure will be mounted on this government in a different strategic way, not even expected. So they should get ready for more noise. They should get ready for more noise. I saw President George Weah and the U.S. ambassador eating and joking around, but sadly, the U.S. ambassador has a job to do. He has a job to do. He is not your friend. 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 Again, I'll say he is not your friend. Go play basketball. Go hang out. Go laugh. Take photos. Business that business. Business that business. If you know in this country some of you who work here, we can get you a letter of resignation to fire you, but we're still smiling with you and telling you to please sign. That business. It's not personal. Again, it is not personal. Keep that in mind. I'm not going to go into detail, but it is not personal. The move that is going to be made these few days, it's not personal. People just got to prioritize what they got to prioritize. They have to. They have to take care of business. People have to prioritize what they got to. Since you don't know how to take care of business, other people will take care of it for you. But Mr. Kane, on a bigger note, to be honest with you, moving forward, I don't care who's benefiting from the CDC, who's not benefiting from the CDC, who thinks this is a joke, who thinks this is not a joke. I think, in all honesty, for the sake of our country moving forward, it's time for the CDC to go. They need to go. They definitely need to go. The CDC is a serious trouble.
Yeah, but need to go is something somebody may want, but how? The how is the biggest question. How are they going to go? They are the government in power. They have all the money, and they think Liberian people are stupid. So, and they're going to spend the money, and they're going to have people voting for them. I don't know where they will have the number, but the how is the question. How are they going to go?
Well,
they are the government and they got the money.
Check your message. Check your message. You said how they're going to go?
Yeah.
Mr. Kane, lead that team, man. Lead that team. There are different ways you can kill the snake. Sometimes you can pet the snake. Sometimes you can feed the snake. There are different ways they will go. They can go. Lead that team. There are different ways to lead that team. These guys are unsophisticated. They don't understand some things. They're just criminals, but they're not even proactive. They don't understand some things. Lead that team. Forget about that team. Just leave that other one. Yeah, leave that other noise. How do we go? That they're going bending up so recently?
Yeah, you said you need to go, and giving the people that I know, they're ready to waste the money. They're ready to use anything to remain in power. So, and given everything going on right now, especially after winning the election in Lofa County, they feel like momentum is trending their way. So, how can you safely say they're ready, they're ready to go?
Well,
the how is the real question.
How can I safely say they are ready to go?
Yeah.
The CDC don't. The CDC. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. President Donald Trump. Again, I said there are many ways. I'm not going to go into it. Like I said the other time, on how the United Party would have lost. I said there is no way they would have won. I'm saying it here again. There is no way CDC will win 2023 election. Forget about the resources. And the reason I'm saying forget about the resources is because there are people that can outspend you. Donald Trump was in a warehouse. Donald Trump had billions of dollars. Mr. Kane, there are people that are willing to contribute. How many resources did Thomas Fala never have in Monrovia? Did he win the election? You lead that team. You lead that team. But look, campaign Muna isn't activated yet. When it gets activated, CDC can spend all they want. That's zero balance. I say it again. We're talking and they're a joking thing. And we said Thomas Fala should Thomas Fala, like I said, he should go bring the whole, what do you call it? What didn't happen? And he brought the whole central bank. And when he brought the whole central bank, the money that they printed, and he went, quote unquote, he brought the whole central bank. What didn't happen? And he got dragged. Lead that thing. Yeah. When I can't lead that thing, we understand the situation, forget that thing. CDC will not win election. Let them leave it. CDC will not win election. There people can come and write and say whatever they want to say and make it look like it's fun or it's a joke. No problem. Time will tell. Time come and tell. And we not get problem with nobody. We And CDC said they will win. They will win. Let us see where they will win. They never won Lofa. CDC never won Lofa. They claiming that they won Lofa. They never won Lofa. But it also sweet for the United Party that they lost in Lofa. I say it's sweet for them so that they can get off the hard horses, behave themselves, and stop lying to the Labrampo that they got numbers. They have no number. They have zero balance. They have no resources. But CDC didn't win Lofa. We might tussle with tussle. CDC didn't win Lofa. It was Jala that won Lofa because Jala had done the work. Jala went as an independent backed by them. So let them continue. And they said they will win election. We now. The other noise are coming. Let them handle the foreign noise are coming for them. We know what's going on. We're not going on.
So yeah, so
they come and say we're spoiling the government need. Wait.
You're talking deep today.
Yeah.
Because I need some questions answered behind the scene because you are saying a lot of things here today. I will ask more questions behind the scene after the show. You have someone to come here right now.
Yes.
Because we got to talk. We got to talk backdoor talk. But here, folks, again, the conversation is about the way forward. Maybe after a little while, Chief, you see somebody coming in?
Yes.
Okay. Because okay, we still have time. So for some reason I need to drink Hatai.
Yeah, but go drink it quick. Go drink it.
I need to drink. No, the Hatai is now 20 here. I will put Hatai on the fire after the show. I will do Hatai before the show. The one I did the other day, I forgot I didn't put in the refrigerator, so it's messed up.
It's messed up?
Yeah. So let me say this.
To the Umba CDC man in a Philip CDC support on there. Yo, balance.
Yeah, but let me say this though.
I led a conversation.
Yesterday I had a conversation with our CDC, top CDC, and the person told me that the CDC has all the momentum right now, and they believe not only that they can win 2023, but saying that they can win first round. And this person kind of relying on somebody want to do well. Okay, Hatai, no problem. Message me. I will show you how to do Hatai. Hatai is the best team, man. It's good. Yeah. So I was wondering why this person said that they can win, and even they can win first round. So I asked, why? Is it because the opposition are not together? So for some of them, their trump card, the trump card is that as long as the opposition remain divided, that is a win for the CDC. So now my question is, assuming that of the opposition, UP and ALP remain on the side, and then we have an election between the CPP and the CDC. CDC, CPP go second round. Boakai and ALP. By that time, they already finished sell the CPP, UP to the CDC. So how the CPP going to get the second round if the CDC already be in control of the UP and the ALP? You think they supported them we abandon the party name record, the party, and just follow the opposition instead?
Well, so one of the things that's even about to happen with the Unity Party over the next few weeks is some Unity Party partisans are going to be not supporting the current leadership. They're going to have to look for a new home because it's getting too noisy. They're getting shadow. They can't see the way forward. So in the midst of all of that too also, Mr. Kane, we have to bear in mind that the current...
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be right back in a minute.
We'll also have to bear in mind that the current leadership of the Unity Party, current defeat from Lofa County, has brought so much of a burden and of a trouble on the Unity Party. Let me tell you, some of these Unity Party partisans and supporters of Joseph Yuma Poaka or the UP, they just come on Facebook or other places and show face and act tough. But the beating that they receive is seriously impacting them. It's demoralizing. It's problematic. It's demotivational. It has impacted the psyche. It has created serious dilemma and doubt on the rejuvenation of the Unity Party. They should have served this Lofa County election. Had they won, should have served as a boost. But this is troubling. Many of you just see the surface of this. This is troubling. I don't know if these guys will ever recover from this till 2023, because the behavior is not even showing that they're ready to recover from it. So that's a side point. So in terms of voting, they're not going to do black voting in terms of the general elections. They're not going to do black voting. And you have to also understand that going to the second round, when the Unity Party does not make it to the second round, they'll have no option. Because the Unity Party or some Unity Party partisan cannot live another 6 more years with the CDC-led government, vice versa. That just few Unity Party people join the CDC because they're getting a small thing here and there. But it's serious-minded Unity Party people, the real opposition Unity Party people who mean well, they can't stomach the CDC, so there's no way, shape, or form they're going to vote for the CDC. People who are in the opposition, who are suffering, the Liberian people, they're not going to vote for the CDC. In the second round, they're not going to talk about, they're not even going to talk about CDC being an option. That is why CDC has strategically jumped in front as part of the strategy to start to make people to put in your head that they will win 51 and plus. When I heard Edwin Snow talking out there, they laugh. It's a strategy. It's a strategy that they're trying to sell to the public to make you feel, what has CDC done for them to win 51 plus vote? What has CDC done? Think about it logically. What have they done for the Liberian people? What have they done to change the lives of the Liberian people that will make Liberian people to go stay in line and vote for them 51 plus? The one that they couldn't do when we didn't give them power, when they were in opposition, and they cajole the Liberian people, lie to the Liberian people that they will do that, they will do that. They couldn't get 51 and plus. That now that they've messed up, screw up the country, created hardship, the Liberian people will go vote for them 51 and plus. That only on the Sakamo tree that other thought will hold water. It doesn't hold water. That is not true. It is not true. Nobody should lie to you about it. The CDC, it is practically impossible for the CDC to even make it a second round for all we can talk about. They will go and win automatically. They'll go and win 2 and they get 51 and plus. That is not true, my people. Nobody shouldn't lie to you. There will be no way that the CDC can win 51 and plus to make the election 1 round. It's not true. Again, think about it logically. Go think about it logically. The CDC were not in power. The Unity Party, the people that Brempo were sick and tired of them. The election dragged to second round. The CDC has come to power. The CDC has made life unbearable for the Liberian people. Bunch of stealing, ineptitude. The safety of the Liberian people is at risk on a daily basis. And you want to tell me, say, the CDC will just jump after they've done this huge mess. The CDC will just jump they will not even go to second round. They will just win first round. Oh, the Liberian people that wasn't on. That the team where they can smoke to Jamaica Resort that they own for them to go vote for the criminals there to go make them to go to second round straight. What wrong with these people? The team was stupid here. Nobody's stupid in their place. That's why they're propagating now. Mr. Khan is a strategy. They want to start establishing this kind of thought. For them to talk about the CDC will just go automatically the second round and they'll just win second round. Where? How?
So
And they tell you we're not there. Mr. Khan, I will say for the third time, let's sink in people's head. CDC were not in power. The United Party were messing up. The Labrampo did not want CDC. Did not want United Party, right? When it went to the first round, the Labrampo did not give CDC automatic 50 plus 1 vote for them to win in 1 round. Can you imagine CDC are not demonstrated to us yet, though, what they would do, all of the promises they made. The Labrampo were hoping on them. Then they made them to win 1 round. That where they are themselves.
After a decimal performance.
Yeah. More than Decimal said. Or catastrophic performance. When you get them passing around, the suffering has increased in the country. And then you say that Labrampo will stay in line and vote for the CDC for 1 round. Who says that? That only people, let me tell you something, only agents of CDC, anybody that say that are passed around without saying that people who are against the Liberian people and they are pay agents of the CDC will say that, or will even think about it. That only the Sakmo tree that will happen.
Okay.
Maybe they're not turning to the new normal party now. Like the United Party, the normal party. Okay, you're normal party now. Okay, you get it normal.
So now the number game is over. When people used to talk about how who was first, who was second, third, fourth in 2017, and the numbers that were in stock, because I can't say in store. The number that were in stock for the United Party. So is that number stay in stock or the number is no longer available? What's going on?
They say they want to call it the number to care with it.
You think that number discussion now is over?
That number
So
thing. I told you that number
is no longer available?
I told you that number thing was in their head before. Why did I tell you? I said, well, not realistic. It was in their head. It's okay for people to think what they want to think in their head, but they're realistic things and they're facts. Now, that alternative fact we're talking about. The number thing was only in their head.
Somebody said the last time that I was listening to one of the shows, somebody said, the Bukka thing the president is doing is a good thing. It's attracting some voters, maybe, the intellectual class and civilized, people, educated people may not see it as anything but based on what the Bukka dance, the man is dancing, that one attracting me. And then the next day, the president went and danced Bukka again with the ladies. He said, you think the Bukka will give him more votes?
Well, Mr. Connor, let me put it this way.
Bukka dance will give him more votes. Then I mean, coming need to start learning how to dance Bukka. Why other men is there? They won't Gonglo, they all need to start practicing their Bukka now. Saying that Bukka can give you vote.
Well, let me say this to you, Mr. Connor. I want to be. I really want to be clear on this. I want to be clear on this. Nobody should underestimate President George Weah in terms of the media.
Okay.
I want to be clear on it. The thing we don't do, most of us, is we don't pay attention to people. President George Weah understands the media. He understands the media. He chooses when to do certain things to distract from major issues. President George Weah has been in the media maybe before some people were even born. President George Weah didn't just come to the media today. That is the mistake we'll be making. Don't overlook President George Weah in terms of the media. He's not a new bee on the block. He understands these things. He knows when to distract. To the issue of dancing Bukka or doing other things, I don't think that resonates with a common Liberian that are hungry, that are suffering. Let me just be honest with you. It might resonate with some seditians or some of President Weah's supporters who sees everything, some of his supporters that see everything that he does is right. It might. But the timing this time around could be very wrong because people are suffering people are hungry and you are passing around and dancing, it could also be viewed as a sign of mockery. Like you don't care. You don't care about the people's plight. You don't care. And President George Weah has proven that he doesn't care. And this should be the message from the opposition, that President George Weah does not care. Nobody said President George Weah will solve everybody's problem. But at least show some form of empathy or sympathy for your people. Somebody ain't got food to eat and you dancing buga. What sense does that make? There are real things people are dealing with in the country. People are hurt. And you are sitting there and dancing, and you say this will appeal to the Liberian people. It might not appeal to the class. It might not appeal to certain people. Hunger does not know class. It doesn't know educated people from uneducated people. Suffering does not know educated people from uneducated people. So this is a wrong strategy. This is a wrong strategy. The Buka Museum might be popular, but it's the timing right to be doing all of this, where people are hurt, people are hungry, people are suffering. Is the timing right for it? Not only that, Mr. Kane, the numbers have shown that the Liberian people, even some CDC, are disenchanted. We've heard them spoken lately. Why is the CDC never took that a rally, that a celebration, the 17th anniversary celebration to SKD or ATS? Why they took it in the backyard? This is the big day for the CDC because they understand some things. They understand that the Liberian people are not buying into that nonsense anymore. But President George Weah likes entertainment. He understands the media. He knows that when he does this, it will appeal to one or two of the fanatics. How the hell in the world?
And to add more to it, I think one thing people are not understanding: seditions are always sedition, and they're always going to be a sedition.
Yep.
So everything the president does to them is entertainment, and they even feel happy to see the president in person.
Yep.
Presidency is a big deal, and Joe Weah is a very popular person, especially to his people. So seeing him, the level of excitement will rise up. So in short, the people will always be happy, and people will always go out to go see the president. But the question now remains, is that going to translate to a vote? Because we saw it the last time. The crowd was huge when the president said, as long as he remains president of Liberia, no DeLong or Ure will win election in this country. That crowd was huge. But then eventually, when the election happened, they lost. Beyond that, when John Weah ran against that again from District 13, the one that could not even give his own acceptance speech. That rally the president went to and put John Weah's hand up. People thought the election was over. But yet, that person lost. John Weah lost. But the other guy, he said he was a disenchanted sedition, but decided to go back to the CDC. But what I'm going to say here is that it's tough to tell how the Liberian people are going to be, voting. But it's very easy to know that sometimes some of those cry does not mean vote. You can have all the cry you want, but they may not translate into a vote. And like you said, if they were actually confident about the crowd they had, they would have gone to maybe SKD, or maybe SKD was on construction. Maybe they would have gone to Anthony Tuckman Stadium, but they went to one of their backyard and just did it there. But the question now is, Steve, seditionists who are disenchanted, do you think they would prefer voting for Cummings, or they can just swallow the bitter pill and vote for Parker?
Well, to be quite honest with
They
you,
disenchanted seditionists who are looking for an alternative. You think where they could easily be swayed? They could go which way?
more likely so they would look into a new home. They wouldn't want to go to the Unity Party. They know what it felt under the Unity Party. They know what it felt under the Unity Party's regime. They know how they don't get along with Unity Party partisans. Let me just be honest with you. Most seditionists will not support the Unity Party if they were looking into getting into any opposition or for any opposition support. They would not. They would not even look to Unity Party's direction. Their beef is not, or the problem is not against other partisans within the Unity Party, within the opposition. It's solely the Unity Party. That is what makes it practically impossible for the Unity Party to ever come back to power anytime soon. I'm not saying down the line, a couple of decades from now, they might not.
But it has never happened in Liberia before, though.
Exactly. And they can't even happen with a bunch of group that we have. It's just possible. They're not sophisticated enough. They don't have the resource. Plus, they're being undermined 24/7, and they're fighting people that even supposed to make them to come to power, even if they go to the second round. You really think in your sound mind, Mr. Kane, that somebody want to go support? Think for example. Let me get this to my Unity Party brothers and sisters. 2017, most of you blame Mr. Cummings and the ANC for staying on the touchline. He did not declare his support. He stayed neutral. Okay, very good. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt that happened. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt that happened. And you didn't win. You and Cummings had no problem. That happened. Now when you testify against Cummings in a bogus case, you go to the second round. You don't think you will need the ANC people to go and vote for you? You really think the ANC people can vote for you? You really think so? With the way you're behaving? You really think so? So you expect to win election? How you win election? Number will fall from heaven or from Lufa? The plot to flog you? See, they're not calculating all of these things. They're not.
Okay. One of the things that could change the politics in Liberia would be the person you're looking at as your running mate.
Yes.
Here in America, people look for certain things in people when they are looking for running mate. One, what the person brings to the table, the likability, the electability of the person. Also, finances. So, do you think, given what this man, Councillor Teong Gonglo, have stood for over the years, and given who he is as a person, you think it will be an option for Teong Gonglo to go for vice president to Boakai? Do you see that possibility?
No, that has been.
If that happens, would that undermine his message?
Mr. Kane, that has been debunked by Tiawan Gonglo. Let me say this, and there are certain things, but let me put it this way: that has been debunked by Tiawan Gonglo. Tiawan Gonglo is not going with Unity Party or what a guy named Jose Yuman Boakai. That has been debunked. Tiawan Gonglo is not going to do that. Forget that thing. He's not going to do that. Let me tell you something.
Power.
No. Tiawan Gonglo is not.
Okay, let's say if Tiawan Gonglo sees the potential to say, well, I can easily be vice president for this man and potential president in a few years. Don't you think that would change his mind?
What has distinguished Councillor Tiawan Gonglo from most Liberians is the fact that he remains independent. He is uncompromising. He does not speak loosely, but he means what he says, and he says what he means. He is not a guy who will come in public. If he wanted to go with Bouaka or keep that option open, he wouldn't have said much about it in public to be on record. Jawan Gonglo is on record with Front Page Africa that that's not an option for him.
Oh, really?
Yes, sometimes last year, I read an article.
Jawan Gonglo say he's now.
You're not
Gonna
going.
go-
You're not considering the
United
vice
Party.
presidency from JMB. Leave that thing. That thing already win a long time. That other negotiation not possible. Let leave that thing.
So
Secondly,
when,
say if you were to do that, that means better that you will have to go.
but do you truly believe that
I
Bouaka?
mean, it will also undermine. Well, let me throw them in there too. I beg you, please. It will also throw this confusion in there that all the sacrifices and other things that Yombli Kanga Lawrence and Benin UA has made, Joseph Bouaka screwed them over. The United Party is in a beautiful nonsense.
I think okay. So it's into this paper.
Mr. Kane, leave that thing.
So now, I don't understand this. So do you truly believe? You think, what's his name? You really believe that he can be vice presidential material, a vice presidential candidate for Bouaka? You really believe that?
Why you can't believe that? What do you wrong with that? As a matter of fact, I support him to be vice presidential candidate for Joseph Yuma Bouaka. And the only reason for that is UA has done the most investment. UA has contributed a lot. UA has used his resources and his connection to help Joseph Yuma Bouaka, revitalize his presidency ambition. So why not? UA that Liberian. What thing happen? UA can be vice president. So UA must. So what thing happen? I will stupid yet. UA must spend all his money, spend all his resources. His daughter be on top of the tag team. His son Costa be passing around talking a bunch of crap all day. Then he can be vice president. Are you serious, Mr. Kane? UA should be. As a matter of fact, if Joseph Yuma Bouaka does not pick UA, then we have a serious problem with Joseph Yuma Bouaka because UA have been not doing. That will toss too.
Okay, let's say. Let's forget about Unity Party for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's open the option for the ANC.
Mm-hmm.
If you factor in the possibility of running mate, you talk about Yombli. I'm not sure the possibility of that because she seemed to be with Bouaka. I don't know what the future lies in there. But then let's say you mention Yombli and you also mention what's his name? Jawan Gonglo. And just those two. Which one of them would be a preferred candidate or presidential, the vice presidential pick for Komis? Preferable one to you.
Well, given
based on what you bring to the table,
given what Martin Kula has
and
said,
also possibility of winning, a winnable candidate, a winnable VP pick between Tiawan and Yombli.
Given what Martin Kula has said that the presidential candidate would be able to pick their own vice president or running mate outside the CPP, that opens the door for possibility for conversation with Jawan Gonglo. If that is inserted into the document of the CPP and is sent to NEC, that opens the door so we can have that conversation. So I don't think it's hypothetical anymore. So if we're going to have that conversation, we'll put Yombli here, we'll put Jawan Gonglo here. I would say, in all honesty, Yombli shoot herself in the foot. She did. Twice. But not securing her Liberty Party as she should have done as a leader. Her focus should have been on the Liberty Party and keep her option open. And even go to the point wherein she should have gone to throw her hat in as a presidential running mate into the CPP thing. It would have given her more leverage. She would have come to the table with a lot more. However, she decided not to go that route. She decided not to do that. She went and decided not to focus on the party so that they can be a forceful force to determine what will happen. Nor started in the party between she and Musa Benedict. She got expelled from the party as of today. She is still expelled as of today. She is still expelled. She's not the political leader of the Liberty Party on the record. Maybe behind closed those years until they can face their case and come back together. So that puts her at a disadvantage, Mr. Kane. But not only that, on a personal note, she colluded with Benedict Ure, with Joseph Yuma Boakai to accuse Mr. Cummings. She did. And we came on here, we told her that was a wrong move. She shouldn't have gone that route. The politics you in here, especially when you are considered or looked at as a possible viable candidate person to be running mate or to be the next president or whatever it is. You are the only female among these guys. Let the people do their thing. That's also men, let them fight. You're supposed to be there. You be the man, let them come to you, and you judge the case. She should have never allowed herself to have been inserted into this noise. She did. These guys play her. These guys play her to some extent. So that puts her at a disadvantage, to be quite honest. But it does not mean that this is politics. It doesn't mean that they can reconcile or they can face their differences and come out together. That's not what it means. But here is something that, when it comes to Tiawan Gonglo, it puts Tiawan Gonglo as an advantage. Tiawan Gonglo had never been part of the CPP North. He comes with different, fresh, new ideas. Tiawan Gonglo is a straightforward, tough-talking guy who does not mince his words, has a strong reputation, good character. He might not have the resources, but Tiawan Gonglo is vibrant. He's liked in the country. He is. He's a name. He's a household name in the country. He is. He's done a lot of humanitarian work. You know.
Okay.
Tiawan Gonglo even fought. Let me put it on the record today. Even fought for me in a case in Liberia with a Lebanese guy, to the point where, to tell you how corrupt the system is, the guy went and bribed my lawyer. Mr. Kanye, the lawyer that I hired, the guy bribed the lawyer so that the Lebanese guys could take a property from me. The guy bribed. Can you imagine? My lawyer came and started singing different song to me. I said, they say, yeah. He started coming and running around. I read it for long. I said, no, the guy got to go. I told
All right, Steve.
And so,
Let me.
Tiawan Gonglo is a good option, to be quite honest. And Young People is a good option.
All right. So first of all, I want to Randy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, Sekou. I'm doing well, very well. Then thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know why you're coming late when the show is finishing.
I know. And my apologies. Mose had called me, but I was on another call. You know, everybody got their link cartoon to push it now. So
I know. That's okay. Yeah, but
forgive me.
Yeah, that's okay. We're discussing the way maybe we push it to another 30 minutes just because you just came late. Other than that, we already hit the 2 hours. But yeah, sometimes Steve can run, and maybe if he runs, you and I will be here for the rest of the next 30 minutes.
I don't want to hold you on, Sekou. I know you got a lot of stuff to do. So
no, that's okay. So yes, we were discussing the way forward. So you know, the part that you just came, I was asking for a potential running mate. And in the case of Cummings, I was mentioning Yombly or Tiawan Gonglo. At the same time, and when you're coming in, I want to also inject the Boakai scenario. Ure or Costa or Yombly, because those are the people in that camp. Seem to be in that camp actually. For Yombly, it's not open, but what we're seeing, at least for the picture, she seems to be leaning towards Boakai. So you think potential VP candidate for Boakai could be Costa, Ure, or Yombly? And for Cummings, now people are, calling Charlene Bronskin's name. We have been in discussion with her. We're trying to bring her on the platform here to have a conversation. Hopefully, once we get her, we'll bring her here. But I wanted to hear your mind. I want to see, what do you think? what is the potential, and what could be a possible winnable candidate for any of those people mentioned here?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think Boga is going to put any candidate forward to win an election, to be upfront. Costa, you can forget Costa. Costa only got people who online that get him the popularity. Remember, we got to look at people who got added value. Costa ran in a district. He was more popular locally when he won that election.
Yeah.
And he lost that election in the same Boca territory. And the people are not forgotten. Characteristically, Costa got a very bad people character. And so his popularity are only with people. You see, Liberian, we are loyal to certain people based on how we feel the people and us are very close. So as for Costa, you can forget it. Now, when it comes to Ure, I mean, even the U.S. ambassador will be honest, say, Boca, you're wasting your time, because the moment Ure is announced to be Boca candidate, first BBC report will come out, will say the former friends of Charles Taylor, and that will discourage everything as well. So who does that? I mean, who's the only person standing now? It will be Nnamdi Kanga. But now, how much does she bring to the table? If you look at the whole belt, the Liberty Party control most of the Basel region. But Liberty Party had been split when it comes to the level of support, because you got what the board name, the guy named Basel Gafile. Basel Gafile is in that territory to split the vote over there, and then you got all the superintendents to split the vote. And Nnamdi Kanga struggled to win that election. So what does that put Joseph Boca in a very deplorable condition? So the three candidates you put there, I would just take Nnamdi Kanga, but it's not going to make Boca to win any election. Now, when it comes to Cummings is an added value for himself and to the party. He got 100% value. One, Cummings stands among everyone in our country right now that is not part of any corrupt system. The place where we won't have Joe we are before is where Cummings stands today. Nobody should judge Cummings to say, oh, Cummings guilty of this. No. Until Cummings served in the government of Liberia as president, nobody got any case against Cummings to say Cummings had done this. They did it for George Weah. The excuse was given, but George Weah had proven himself now to be on the left-hand side of the bad leadership in the country. My only concern now is who Cummings going to pick. Because if you look at the political football field, it's very difficult. Tewo Gongolo, well, how much does he bring to the table? How much does he bring to the table? You see, Tewo Gongolo could have been a very popular candidate. I'm not saying he's not popular, but a very popular candidate as a poor man lawyer. When I started to hear him being a poor man lawyer, Sekou and Steve, it reminds me of the guy they call Benjamin Crump in America. But when any bad thing happens, he goes there. People get to know Benjamin Crump. I was expecting Tewo Gongolo when things started happening in the country, like for example, the young people that fell down in the pit in Nema issue. But that's a missed opportunity. But to Steve's point, Tewo Gongolo has been one of the honest person, as I see it. So if Mr. Cummings is shortlisting people, I would say he can be part of that list, but he will have to work harder. But Cummings will be the more added value over there. So with that alone, I think it will make a better ticket. Can I think about anybody else? I think if Nnamdi Kanga has stood on the side of Cummings, it would have given her more weight. The people that Nnamdi Kanga on right now, these are people who had loose characters, they had loose credibility, they got nothing. But Nnamdi Kanga was not part of that bad character of people. But they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And that's where Nnamdi Kanga is now. Can she flip? Well, if she don't flip to come to Cummings, do they trust her anymore? It will become a trust issue. So I think Cummings still got to do his research on the ground, but the choices you give me right now, I would say Cummings can go with Tewo Gongolo for now. That's how I would see. Unless somebody comes from...
What do you think Bronskin's daughter, Charlene Bronskin, could be an option?
She can be an option, but option to win what county outside of Grand Bassa County? She's not known. Most of the people are not known around the counties.
Yeah.
And they are mainly known in Grand Bassa County, where they originate from, or other county, and then also Rado County. If you were to go to places at River G, you go to Bapuru and you ask for them. You see when you went with Boca, how he was looking straight at you. Sekou, when you visit somewhere, like, oh, Sekou, what's up, man? What's up? You went over there, he just stood up still. Nobody knows.
So speaking of Tewo Gongolo,
yeah.
when you say, okay, what does he bring to the table? somebody could argue that he can bring Nimba.
Yeah.
And not only being a known commodity through all Liberia, but how much of a factor can he be in Nima County?
Thank you. That's a very, because you know what? Prince Johnson is down there. He's not running for president because he wants to do the 27 year of President Todman, right? So he's not running. So they are both going to be split. But what the ratio? And then what I'm looking at Tewo now to be very strong.
So how much do we know about his popularity in terms of among his people of Nima County?
And that's what we need to do.
Do you have an idea?
That's what we got to do. Voter straw. Voter straw. Voter straw. We got to send people out there and ask people, Tewo Gongolo and Prince Johnson, who do you prefer in this place here to be somebody? When you do that voter straw, you see the people who gave you the feedback. But that's a very valid. Steve, you are coming in. Come in, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I have an idea. Tewo Gongolo is popular in his county, but here's one of the hinges that has kept him away from his county. Number one, he's from the Mano tribe. In the Mano belt, for the most part, I want to use the word, they're smart people, but they're not forceful. They're very calm. They're timid. They're not forceful like the Gio people who will make their way through. Even if they don't know it, they'll maneuver. So,
right.
So him being from that minority tribe, the expectation is they will rise up now, coming election, like the Bandi people did. Part of the reason that his sister has not been able to win is she's from the Mano tribe. And, to get them to really, so he's popular. He's a name recognition he got in the and he has opposed Prince Johnson openly. With the Gio people or with the Gio tribe be willing now to say, finally, I get rid of the Prince Johnson guy, let's rally around Tewo Gongolo, because Tewo Gongolo should become the new face or the face of Nima County going forward with integrity, his character. But not only that, Tewo Gongolo is also popular in the Southeast. You wouldn't realize that he's very popular in the Southeast, especially in Grangeda County. They have I've forgotten the name they call him in Grangeda, but the people of Grangeda all hail him. He stood up against Charles Taylor. He has a record. Now, you see, Tewo Gongolo was Solicitor General, handcuffed Charles Taylor, and turned him over. So he has a record. That image, that picture is still in the minds of some Liberians. They have not forgotten about Tewo Gongolo. I would urge him. I think and I believe that if he were to come around Cummins or the CPP, it would be a very forceful and strong candidate. And Yomdi Kangak will also come around to be an added value. Senate Pro Tem is still off for grabs. Mind you now, this is election. And she's not running 2017. Her role becoming Senate Pro Tem could more likely, from a strategic standpoint, proport her to get another term to become re-elected. So Senate Pro Tem would not be back. Remember, she understands the Senate. She's been around, and she will be probably the first female Senate Pro Tem we've had. But I want to leave it there. I don't want to go into details. Let me give Rennie the chance because I've spoken about it.
Yeah. So when we look at strategic counties in Liberia, Nima County, Magibi County, Lofa County, Mosurado, and Bon County. Remember, so those are the strategic counties. If you win those counties, you care less about the Northeast. I'm be honest with you. I'm from the Northeast, but you can blow all of this. And the Southeast. You can blow all of this, and we're gone. No disrespect to where I'm coming from, but we don't have that population. But the question that Sekou asked is a very important question. Whether the ratio of Gongolo versus Prince Johnson, is how I want to put it. The old school people who supported Rap for Samuel Canyon, they'll still see Prince Johnson as their savior. The young generation who were young to see all those things, that group will be divided in terms of the support. But what is the ratio? And that's why it was so important to carry out this census here, because the census would have given you and I an accurate reason to debate. Tewo Gongolo is seen as a new face of the young generation with few of the population. But when it comes to Nimba, they're going to put politics aside and they're going to look at who put Nimba on their belt to defend them. Don't forget, you're going to be traditionally connected as well too. you're right. They civilized people in Nima County. I'm on Nima born. I was born in Nima and raised in Nima. All right. They see the Mano people are the civilized people. That Jose Guano and all the other people, they are civilized Mano people. But when it comes to who is the head of Nima County, that is a battle. But that culture mindset has changed. So I would say Sekou got a very good question that I cannot answer right now. I think that question will be answered when we start to do the voter straw. Who is more popular in Nima County? That's where I will leave it. If that is proven,
I think before 2023, someone really have to go to Liberia.
yeah.
Yeah, because I really, really want to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Get into their minds.
Yes.
And really understand how they are thinking and what they are thinking.
Absolutely.
So let me just throw in another interesting one here. The last time when we had the Secretary General of the Liberty Party here, Martin Kula, he said, he made mention of, let's say if the Liberty Party reconciles and decide to bring somebody on for vice president, he made mention of Yombly or even DeLong. So you think DeLong still carry the same popularity of DeLong can still actually be a presidential, vice presidential material? You think so? And I'm talking about the trust factor and the trust factor and the popularity factor. Everything that have happened over the 2 years and a lot has happened. You think DeLong could still be a potential vice president pick?
Short answer, no. Long answer, let me say this. Until Liberians get to understand that there are certain politicians, including DeLong, they are only seeking opportunity at the expense of others to put themselves first. And DeLong is no different from that. DeLong had the popularity. The people trusted DeLong. The vote that got DeLong to be re-elected today, Sekou, was a vote of relief, confidence in DeLong. But DeLong failed to meet his people's need. He put himself first. DeLong saw that position as an opportunity for himself rather than a public service for the people. So today, there are many Liberians now that are having second thought now about who coming to be the good Samaritan that will put into office. There are things that DeLong had done over a period of time that does not show to anyone that he's ready. Where DeLong stands now, Sekou, are only those that are supporting DeLong because of what they're getting from DeLong. But outside of that, no, he doesn't stand no chance. DeLong had a greater opportunity to have maintained the structure of the ANC. DeLong should have been, of the CPP. DeLong should have been this outspoken person because you know what? He is a benefactor or beneficiary of the CPP collaboration. The CPP force that CDC got intimidated and they started to do all the dirty work. It was based on DeLong election and other senator. So think about somebody who gave you an opportunity. Rather than you maintaining that structure, you decide to destroy it. So that's who he is. There's no way he can go. He's not a team builder. He uses other people to get himself to where he wants, and then he destroys it. So how can he be trusted? It's one thing to ask the question, we appreciate you. My answer to you, he cannot be. The Liberian people are learning every day, Sekou, because here's the thing. Every time they elect somebody, the person left changes over time, but the left remain unchanged. So the people learn by day. And then as today, I see that it's only up to Commies now to change that course. I believe that Commies had not gone into government yet. Everyone that had come before and said we can do X, Y, Z, they have gone now. We are seeing it, right? And this is why now I'm asking people now that I think the only candidate that left now is Mr. Commies. So DeLong stand no chance to be any vice president. You can even bring DeLong with anyone right now. If you put DeLong with any other non-recognized person in the country, they will not take DeLong because DeLong has put himself first. He sought opportunity rather than seeking an opportunity to provide public service to the people. And the people have learned enough. Yes.
Well, so I wish we started this conversation earlier, but I'm enjoying you guys in the way you guys handling the question, because I let people to be straightforward and about what you think about certain things or certain people. So again, going back to the same thing, I'm still looking at 2023. the problems that were in the CDC, in
Yeah.
the collaboration, not the Congress for Democratic Change, but Coalition for Democratic Change. The
Mhm.
problem somehow has been somehow resolved. The problems have been somehow resolved. And it seems like the vice president will stay on.
Mm.
Yes, from my information. That
That's
information
true. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more.
yeah, it seems like she's going to stay on.
Yeah.
And it seems like they are now together. And it also seems like they're all going to be together to renominate President Weah come September or October. I'm not too sure of the particular time, but yes, soon they will do that. And they will go on. And I'm also reliably informed that sooner they will be making tour. She will be making tour, and then after the renomination of President Weah, they will collectively tour the country.
Yes.
I've also have that information, given everything you've heard over the years. But now my question now to you, CDC it has name recognition as the ruling party. Now, presently, Cummings, after this election of Lofa County, kind of put Cummings at a little bit advantage over Boakai, because the everything about Boakai, like it was that Boakai has at least a constituency says that we stand with him no matter what, regardless of the situation. Now that is no longer the case, given what we're looking at, what we saw in Lofa. So does Cummings has the structure in the counties, because elections is not just Monserrado, and not just those counties that we just mentioned, Lofa, Nimba, Bon, Magibi, Grand Basso. What about other counties? Do you think the ANC and Cummings, they have structural, they have structure in other countries they can really work to their advantage come 2023? Because election is now winning in those big countries. Other countries matter, because if you're not focused, if you don't have structure in those countries, where you're not looking there where they can cheat. And do you think Cummings and the ANC really have the structure that they can rely on come 2023 in other countries besides Monrovia?
Yeah, and I think I will circle that word rely. Yes, because everything you have said, a typical ANC would say yes, but then the reliability of that thing is where you verify. So I'm glad that you injected that word rely. ANC has the structure in place, but how reliable the structure is. So why it is true that it's an open question, I want to take that offline because it's part of the strategy. Because there are many people here who are watching right now, so I'll be very, at the level to say yes, the structure is there. I spoke to, and I hope you guys ain't going to charge me because I visited the ANC people. So I'm just getting in the middle here. So, but I did talk to some of the senior and strategists of the ANC party. They are structure in place. I spoke to them. It's just that there are little things that need to be added. But it is very essential and important to ask this question at this time because, like you said, our election always has the propensity of creating fraud in the system. Now that we continue to see this thing happening over and over, that doesn't get time for Boakai to come and say, "Hey, Randy, you read? I just said it in my press conference." No. That's something different. But at least to prevent what happened in 2017. So I think the structures are there. It's just that the reliability of the structure in terms of what needs to be put in place, I think that things that need to be re-engineered to really reinforce what you're asking. And I think this question you're asking here today, it could serve as a benchmark because after 2023, this very question you're asking, it could be better for the ANC or it could be worse for the ANC. But I think it is very important that you ask this question because it gave the campaign manager the idea, because number one, the campaign manager must have a campaign objective and they must have the campaign strategy. And part of the strategy is to make sure that these things are in place. So I believe the ANC are working on these things, but I'm not fully rooted in there. But those that I spoke to, they gave me the assurance that they have these things in place. But it just needs to be reinforced to build that reliability that can give everyone comfort and provide a solid and direct answer for you.
Steve.
Well, I mean, I've spoken a lot today. I just wanted to ask Jay Randy a question about, he said he was with the ANC people.
Yeah.
What was your experience like? Because we have not been there before.
Yeah.
Some of us, you know. But some people have not been there before.
Correct.
So what was your experience like as opposed to what we're hearing?
Well, I would say my overall experience is it was overwhelming, very welcoming. I never felt happy meeting a political party, like even the CDC that I met in 2012 and 13. This visit to to Jacksonville was very welcoming. I felt something that I never felt. You know, I have been a very big critic of Cummings, but I never had anybody walking up to me and say, "Hey, you over there, you said something." No, I was more welcome than I initially thought I was going to be. I went and sat down on the first day in the back, and I was by myself. And this guy they call Elos Mongo, he had been speaking to me most of the time. And he came, first of all, the CDC, the ANC queen that came and sat next to me. And then we started talking, and then Mongo came.
You said a queen? Wait a minute, let's get to that point. But at one point you in a situation you can't handle. Oh,
I'm just
kidding. You because I want that. All I want looking very interesting.
Yeah, I want to know for queen.
Wait a minute. Go back to that story again. Yeah. Because you came back to the haircut and just looking shabby, just laughing, holding it.
Yeah, it look like it. So how can we anyway, we're not there, it's fine. Because I saw somebody accusing Spoon and all the talk show people and all the advocate being in Florida. So I saw somebody accusing Spoon people of being there. I said, well, Barker came here, Spoon people went there too. The
exactly.
So what's wrong with they going to Jacksonville to talk to Cummings and meet with other people?
I know, right?
I didn't know you were there, but not only that you were there, but you were sitting with the queen.
Tell us more about that one, Jim. I think
we'll let you know more.
Okay, so initially I didn't know she was the queen, right? And you know how sometimes you can just sit by somebody. It was a lucky place. So as I was sitting there alone, she came over to me, and then we started to have a conversation. The moment I opened my mouth, people who watch me, oh, that's Jay Randy there. I know the voice. Including Besonga Fide's sister. Say, I know Jay Randy. And then the next thing I know, everybody started coming around. But then when Mr. Cummings started to speak, I said,
but you said Besonga Fide's sister? Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, she introduced me as sister of Besonga Fide, yes. Yeah.
Oh, she NC person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So she's a very nice lady too. Very nice. Yeah. So I was sitting right behind Mr. Cummings and his wife, and thank God for the opportunity. So as I was engaging them, Ada Mongo, who is the ANC Global, he came next to me. You know, these guys are presenting themselves as public servants. I'm sitting in a chair, and he came and knelt down before me. And I never felt embarrassed like that. Think about other people, how they would be pompous, guys. Yeah. So I said, but Ada, if you're on your knees, he said, forget it, Randy. I said, can I get her? He said no. And then we had an interaction, and everybody came and said, Randy, you're welcome here. And then at the very end, I went to Mr. Cummings, and we had a very good conversation. And Mr. Cummings said, you want to take a selfie? I said, sure. He said, okay, let's do the selfie first before we take the regular picture. And here's the funny thing about it. When we took a picture, Mr. Cummings said, don't post that picture. I said, what do you mean? He said, don't post that picture. You're going to stay in trouble. I said, I will do it. And we started laughing. So as he was leaving with his wife, I was engaging other ANC people. So he was about to leave. So when he was passing, he said, Jay Randy. I said, yeah. He went in front, so he turned around like this. Don't post a picture. And I said, I'll post a picture. And eventually he was right. So I'm just trying to say to you guys that you don't judge the ANC from a distance. You will be wrong. You have to interact with them. These are Liberians whose hands are open. I will not lie to you, Sekou. If they call me back to fly to Jacksonville tomorrow, I will have to talk to my wife and be on the flight the next day. They gave me a sense. On the second day during the symposium, Roslyn Cooper, who hosted the program, along with my brother, or I think his name is Franklin, these two individuals, every time I sat in any gathering, guess what they would do? J. Randy is here. Not a day they stopped me to even go to Cummings. You know how some guys, oh my man, you know the man, go on outside. No. They were Cummings became available. Cummings was like a product on the shelf where you can just look at like this. I don't like that one. I don't like this one. That's how interactive Mr. Cummings is. I had never seen any politician in the history of Liberia that got so close to anyone, not just myself. Cummings is very available. The one I was both touching again, you remember the picture we took right in front of the building there? Mr. Cummings was not part of that picture initially. It was me and other people. But Mr. Cummings key the slide door open up. And then he said, oh, you're taking picture without me. If you look at the photo, he was looking at me like this. Oh, you're taking picture of me? I said, oh, Chief. And I started smiling. He said, okay, let's take the picture. That's how open Mr. Cummings is. And I'm told ANC, you need to sell this brand. There are people out there who are meant for bad things, but the Cummings ANC brand is something good. And then, of course, during the night of the program, the actual fundraiser, again, his wife, she said some powerful things. I got a video here. That's a very powerful message for a campaign. So, Steve, overall, the ANC folks are welcoming people. Whoever have been saying things out there, there's nobody that walk up to me and say, J. Randy, oh, you said this to come in, so therefore you're not coming here. No, it was not in my dream. It was not in reality. And that's why you saw all the photos. I was so interested. Now, when you look at the photo that I posted, the queen is sitting there. The photo I posted, the queen got her hat on her head. Let me see where I can find the photo here.
Well, that queen better that you just going into. Well, let's
You're asking me the question. You're asking me the question.
Steve, we're not going back to that queen thing. It's okay now.
Because Steve,
Randy, they may just jealous about you sitting by the queen.
yeah, because he always say
that. But let me ask you. You just talk about your experience meeting. I've met Cummings once, but that was before he declared his intention for president.
Oh, okay, that was a while ago now.
That was 2015.
Wow.
And here's what happened. I got elected as president for FEMUSA.
Okay.
And different people, I mean, somebody that I'm very close to told me that time Boakai was the vice president of Liberia.
Okay.
The person called me and said, VP Boakai is running for president. Can you please allow us to give him the opportunity to be the keynote speaker for FEMUSA to your inauguration so that he can at least sell his idea to our community? And I say, I don't want to politicize, the whole FEMUSA thing. But I was not the one that making the decision. We had the inaugural team. So I said, okay, talk to the people. Whoever you guys agree on, they bring the person. Then somebody said, okay, there's a guy in Minnesota they talk to. This guy here call somebody name. This person is the former executive of Coca-Cola. So say that person is in the private sector, why don't you bring that person?
Okay.
And I said, I don't even know who the person is. And guess what? Long matter short, Mr. Cummings became the choice of the team.
Okay.
So he came to Arizona, finished here in 2015. So we met him, we took picture. I got that old picture when you see two all standing side by side. I got an old picture. And you know, we took picture. Then the person who's supposed to be the installing officer,
Mm-hmm.
and guess what happened?
Mm.
Mr. Cummings, who's supposed to be the keynote speaker,
Yeah.
you know how people then we can go to program late.
Yeah.
Cummings got there on time.
Uh-huh.
I think it was with Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
My first time seeing all of them. That was a very. So when I saw them, they were there before. People keep calling me, man.
Mm-hmm.
You the one that told me inaugurated. Where are you guys? The keynote speaker is here. So we went. When we got there, we took some pictures. Cummings and myself were sitting side by side, like next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other elected officials on the other side, on my left side. So the conversation we had never mentioned politics, never mentioned Liberia in terms of running and this and that. But we were telling about organization.
Yeah.
They were lecturing me about how it's good, to be engaged with the community and giving me idea how to improve our. So I was like, where this guy coming from? Then the other guy, the person who's supposed to be the installer officer, did not show. And guess what? We asked him if he could do both.
Yeah.
Said, no problem.
There you go.
Can you imagine? This is 2015.
2015, yeah.
So that's why when Comey was even asked whether he knew me, he had met me before, he said no, because he couldn't even remember.
Yeah.
So I had to come on the show here to say
Yeah.
yes, indeed, we have met, but you forget, but I know, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And we exchanged number. Guess what?
Mm.
Since we exchanged number that time, we never spoke.
Wow.
Because I attempted calling him twice, just even to tell him thank you, but I couldn't get hold of him. Until he went to Liberia, he ran for president, this and that. We never spoke. Up to the time we brought Cummings on this platform for the first time. So the reason why I'm talking about this story is that besides politics, Cummings is a good person.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
He's a good human being.
Mm-hmm.
The second time I met him, he came here on the Maryland organization programs here.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting somewhere, and somebody told him about Sekou here.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting on a high table. He left his table and walked to where me and my wife and other people were sitting and to come say hi to me.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people in our country can do that.
No, you can forget that one.
I'm not saying nobody can do that. I don't know.
They're very hard.
People of us, if of a statute, may not do that.
Yeah.
They can bring themselves down like that. So yes, indeed, I got a lot of good things to talk about. Cummings. If somebody want to call me ANC person because of that, that's on you.
It's up to them.
I don't really care.
It's up to them.
And equally so, I can say that for other people who may not even be in politics. But just to agree with you with your experience, I have similar when he was not even, running for anything.
There you go.
So the person you saw that time will be the same person today.
Exactly. The character stayed the same. That's why it is. The character
stayed the same. So that was a good experience.
Yes.
So the question now,
I
want you to speak in DeLon voice. Are you leaning? Or are you ANC? No.
I initially said CDC or ANC. So to your question, I'm leaning. I would say yes, I'm leaning. When before the tree fall, you gotta put more effort. In a tree when you're chopping the tree down, and you see the tree leaning there, they say keep hitting. To be honest, I think the ANC got more to change in our country than the people who created this thing. The fire is one of the fundamental reasons. Every political leader in our country has been given the opportunity, and they have failed the Liberian people. My only hope now is to give Mr. Cummings that opportunity. He has not been given that opportunity. And there's no way anybody can say Mr. Cummings is not the right person. You must give him that opportunity. And in leaning in that direction, yes, I'm tipping over in that direction. This is my open confession I'm making on this platform here. I'm leaning in that direction. But I'm not there 100%, not yet. Because there are a lot of moving parts that need to be put in place. When it comes to Boyka, I will say no to you. When it comes to CDC, I will say no to you. The way I am, yes. Because this country must change. Sekou. This country must change. And I think coming with a people-friendly skills, the people around Cummins, the way they open up to people, all it takes is to sell the brand.
So that would take, man. Before I go to Steve, since Steve say, yeah, because Steve is the one been doing a lot of the talking today.
Yeah.
I'm just here asking my questions. So yeah, so Randy, so with that, what you saw, you think Cummins needs to really do more in getting close to a lot of people and making people to know him and do a lot of appearances on shows so that people can really know the real Cummins? You think he needs to do enough? Because especially in-person interaction.
Yeah.
You think he needs to go to, do more in going to counties and cities and towns and villages?
Yes.
This thing is not about money. To meet people in person so that people can know who Cummins is. You think he needs to do more of that?
Absolutely.
And that could really help.
Absolutely. It's like setting the brand. See, there are two things that are happening in the ANC. The ANC brand need to be sold, and Mr. Cummins also need to sell himself. Now, the brand need to be sold to people out here who are misrepresenting the ANC to other people. His name, his character, through himself, need to be presented to the people back home. Because the friend that I saw in Jacksonville, from his wife to himself, if they can start to do that with some measure in Liberia, the people will get to know him and they'll get to understand him. Because Liberians are judging him from distance based on what other people tell them. So I think him being on the ground, interacting, attending different programs where the people get to see him, they are politicians. The people want to see their president. The people will feel comfortable. Say, for example, you saw Cummins was here a few times. Mr. Cummins must take a picture. You know the politician in the United States, they will take a picture with anybody. And that picture will become a souvenir for them. So I think the things Cummins, you spoke about the different structure around the counties, in the country, within every county. There's a time that Mr. Cummins need to just have this, have a conversation with community across the country, how far he can reach and begin. Because he is actually the person now that many Liberians will be looking forward to. George Weah cannot do that. Joseph Boakai, with all due respect to him, he cannot do that either. I think Mr. Cummins is the real deal here. I'm not saying it because I'm looking for a job. No, I'm saying it because there should be a new change now. Yeah, we can't go back to another 6 more years. You see, Sekou, what happened here is for 17 years, Liberians who supported CDC. Remember, for every political party, there are partisans and there are supporters. All right? Everyone who supported the CDC for the past 17 years, they have put their life on hold while their age are getting older. But those that are elected into the CDC government, their life are not on hold. You see the transition in their life, how George Weah used to be, how Sekou Karako used to be, now who they all are today. But when you look at the typical Liberian, of all the time they put their life on hold, these guys in government have been doing extremely well for themselves. Do they want another 6 more years so that those guys can continue to build more and more wealth for themselves and build more home while they put in their life? If you are 20 years old and you elected George Weah, you're going to be 26 years next year. If you put George Weah there for another 6 years, you're going to be 32 years. Guess what? George Weah will be building up where in your life. How many Liberians in our country today honor George Weah? 4 pillow. I challenge any CDC top official, go around the 15 county, show me certificate of 5 to 10 Liberians who will tell you, say, Brother Sekou, the CDC payroll won't say education and training. I got certificate of being a carpenter, a masonry, an electrician, or a hairstylist. None. They keep these boys and girls in captivities while they're enjoying themselves. George Weah did not put his life on hold for anybody. He did everything he could have done. Loyalty is 2 ways, but we didn't see loyalty as only 1 way. The loyalty of the CDC putting their life on hold for 6 years. George Weah then decided to build wealth for themselves and not responding to the people back home. I didn't see that when I had a conversation with Mr. Cummins.
Okay. Steve, we can take a few calls before we go.
Before
I just wanted to ask Jay Randy a question. I don't.
Okay, hold on. Jeremy want to show you a picture with the queen. So is that the queen on your left hand side, on your right hand side?
Yeah, the queen with the African gown there.
Oh, with the African gown?
Yeah, the African dress. The queen.
What's the name of the queen?
Jay
I
Randy,
don't remember somebody that I know.
Sekou, I ain't for the queen Neil.
Yeah, but Jay, when you
My
look
man,
too successful in that picture.
You will tell the truth.
What is that,
We,
Steve?
we'll tell the truth. You will tell the truth off camera. You got to tell us the truth.
What Steve
My man,
said? Steve, what is
you
it?
looking
You
too
talking-
successful in that picture. Yeah.
No, the boss,
Steve.
the boss said we're talking off now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll tell our behind this. But let me ask you.
We're talking offline. It's because I'm Queen Low familiar.
I'll ask you-
Let me say this.
Uh,
When one of our Omar say, the woman say, the woman asked the boy, who your mother? You call her name. He said, I don't know you, but your fellow Faria. Oh. He said familiar, he said Faria. He said your fellow Faria. Oh.
yeah.
That queen fellow Faria. Oh. Steve, that queen fellow Faria. Oh. Go ahead.
I just want to ask Jay Randy one question,
Yeah.
and I think for me, I'll be done for the day.
Mm.
Oh, but then I just routed the number to you. We're not taking
Oh
calls
no,
today.
oh no, we're not taking call today, Mr. Panel.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give all the time to Jay Randy, you know. So
All
then
right,
he
no
can go.
problem.
So Randy,
Mm.
I know you were on the ANC program
Mm.
and you were hanging with the Queen and chilling and all of that, but I know you were not offside of the politics in Liberia.
Mm.
What do you make of the recent senatorial election and the most recent behavior of Unity Party partisans after losing Lofa? What would you say?
I think it's a regret that they did not stick with the CPP. It's a regret. It exposes their weakness. It shows that they cannot win any election. You see, when Mr. Comey was head of the CPP, there were heavy decisions made that got the CPP to be elected today. One, hold on, Miranda. Hold on. I'll talk to you later, okay? I'm live. Please. Just bring it to Missy. Bring it. All right. I'll see you. I'll come back. All right? I'll join you. Please. Thank you. Yes. Sorry, guys. My daughter. This little girl, if you watch all my videos from back in the days, she is the same person. She growing every day. One day I will show her to her. From the time she was a baby, she always coming. So, guys, please forgive me. I beg
It's
you guys.
okay.
All right. So, you see, what is CPP failed to realize under the Boca leadership? When Mr. Comey was head of the CPP, he brought Darius Dillon, Bocha, Samuel Taylor. CDC became afraid that unity will destroy them. But what did they do? Because Boca is so greedy for power, he joined a group of people to dismantle the CPP. He got his will. Now he went into, you know how God can do things? The election was not held in Bapolu. It was not held in Riverside, but in Boca own county. And guess what? Mr. Comey also said, I'm not going to put any candidate in there. And Boca went in there. Your stronghold. Your stronghold. People always say in the sporting game, your home court advantage.
Yeah.
And he lost. He lost his whole home court advantage. What does that mean to everybody now? Nobody got stronghold in our county right now. CDC does not own Montserrat County anymore. Joe Boga does not own Lofa County anymore. So because of their poor decision of leaving the CPP, they have become more vulnerable. Instead of them looking at their own autopsy report to say, where did we go wrong? They want to throw the blame because they have misled their supporters to believe that they could be strong. You see, the God we serve, he does not fool you. If Boca had good intention, he was going to win that campaign, that election, with a landslide victory. Also, what does it tell about CDC? CDC brand is dying too. CDC brand is dying. CDC did not put in their own CDC candidate. They brought in or they follow an independent guy. Had it been a CDC candidate, he also would have lost that election.
Yeah.
So where does that put Mr. Cummings now? After going through the hearing, Mr. Cummings is a very unique place now. Walker does not have what it takes to win. CDC is afraid. The only last brand that CDC has right now is George Weah. If they defeat George Weah, CDC is dead. But CDC now, their brand is not anymore. And that's why I keep saying ANC need to start setting their brand. Because what they will start to do, those who support the CDC, they will start to say, oh, the ANC people are not friendly. But you ask them, have you been there before? And you get Georgia man from a distance. Have you interacted with the person before? So that's what I took from this election, Steve.
Okay, well, Sickle, unless you have another question for Randy, but I think
I do. So Randy, when you say people got to get close, or maybe got to know the people before you can form an opinion about them, what do you think the ANC folks need to do to attract more Liberians towards the ANC? Because some people in the ANC, I mean, outside of the ANC, think that ANC folks are a bunch of elites, bunch of class people that don't want to affiliate with common people, thinking that they know it all. And that's not what you saw over there. So what do you think they need to do to attract more people to them? Not just commies, but other folks within the ANC.
I think that's a very valid question there too. And you keep hitting me with the most important question as well as Steve. Now, ANC folks, everyone of them need to understand that the election we run in Liberia, it go by count. It go by count. So in order for Mr. Cummings to win this election, we need to have the highest count to win this election. And to do that is to open arms to anyone who even has said anything about Cummings. The fact that they say, you know what, I want to be part of the party. Because remember, not everyone going to support the party to be a partisan. But there are people who will come to support the party just as a supporter that believe in the vision.
Mm-hmm.
So ANC folks need to understand that people who they bring on board, whether they coming to be a partisan or supporter, let them focus mostly on the supporters. Remember, the state of Pennsylvania have been voting Democrat in the history of the United States. They voted Donald Trump, and after 4 years, they got him out. It was all about the issue. If they have that mindset, they should welcome everybody and forget about it too much American English. You see the way for me, the way I speak. Some people will call me and say, "My man, you in America?" I say, "Yeah, my man, you saw what Ghana was. Don't come fool us, man." You got to get to the root of our country to get to them. So I'm asking all ANC members, because Mr. Cummings said that. So cool. One thing I forgot to mention. He said this party should be, we should get ready. Speaking to the audience now, you should get ready to welcome more people here, because he understands what it means to have more support. So to the ANC folks, I know some of you guys are trying to do that now. You're trying to do more. Open up. Whoever said anything wrong about Cummings, bring them in. People out there are frustrated. And the last thing you want to do when they come to you is to push them back. Don't do that. Bring them in. If Jay Rennie said something in the past toward Mr. Cummings, and he said, "Oh, I'm leaning towards it," welcome him, because this is what we call voter influence. Everyone that comes, Brother Sekou, got some type of influence. And when you start to bring them in, you bring John bring Paul bring Peter, guess what? It starts to build momentum. So
and to agree with you to some extent, that brings down the CDC.
Correct.
CDC try to drive everybody away who disagree with them.
Thank you.
They try to distance themselves from everybody who criticizes the CDC government.
Yes.
To the extent where people who criticize the government were considered as enemy of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Thereby pushing the people further from the government and the ruling party.
Yeah.
And when you do that, instead of building support, you are building more enemy for yourself.
Thank you.
So the best you can do is to welcome people,
create
a platform, create an avenue where people can be attracted to the people.
Yes.
So that people can be willing, even if you don't call them, let them be willing to come to you.
Yeah.
And that has been one of the weaknesses of the ANC.
Yes, and I identify that.
A lot of people see them as a bunch of elitists that feel like they don't need the common people or the uneducated.
They need to work on that. Yes, they need to work
on that. They need to work on that in a way that You don't have to wait for the people to come to you and say want to join you. No, go for them.
Yeah.
Persuade them. Speak in their tone. Speak in the way they can understand.
Yeah.
And tell them, say, hey, we have place for everybody.
Correct. And that's why they need.
I just want to agree with you.
Thank you.
And that is, if they are not, if you can work with that, that would be really, really, really good for them.
And that's a
You
component.
know, that level of grassroots mindset.
Yeah.
By the time the people see themselves in you, by the time the people feel that sense of belonging,
Yeah. Forget
trust
it.
me,
The rest is history. The rest is
history. Trust me.
Yeah. And it can only be done by communists alone.
No.
The people around, the people who are the field soldier, the people who are the sale, because ANC is a product that is selling out there. A salesman never frown his face. A salesman always smile with you. He knock on your door every morning.
Yeah.
How they should see themselves. And and that would be because Brother Sekou, the people in our country are frustrated. The last thing they don't want is when they're taking their frustration and say they're coming to you, and they say, oh, you don't belong here. They will end up all going to stay home not to vote. And you need that vote. Yeah. You need that vote. So they need to understand that. I know some of them are trying, but those who have not made up their mind, they need to encourage them to do the same. Every community in Liberia need to have an ANC open house. Bring people in. Make
build more bridges.
Yes.
So Randy, I want you to take some time and close so we can call it a day for today.
Yes, I would like to say a big thank you to you for giving me the opportunity here. I'm very sorry again to your audience for coming on late, and but I'm always available. I feel more happier to be on the platform. This is the platform that I can come and feel free at home. Thank you. And I want to commend you for that, Brother Sekou. You have been a very nice guy, and to Steve as well. I feel more happy here than any other platform. You guys had never blacked me for my opinion, and I think this is the way that we need to move our country. So the day I win the lottery, you guys will be the first on my list.
Oh man, you're gonna win it. I'm praying for you. You're gonna win it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So Mr. Steve, somebody just invite me and say, Brandy, you beat Steve today. He always talk about the beautiful Liberian with me. So at least I beat you today one today with my brother.
And now when they beating him, you're standing with a queen. So Steve, that one by you leave me out. So Steve, any announcement? We gotta go now.
All right, yeah, the Queen discussion here will continue right after the show. They may have got to investigate him with the Queen.
I can't go to call Steve. I can't go to call Sekou.
But let's do the announcement really quick. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking and staying with us. Tomorrow we'll have mental health and wellness session here. We have two guests, but we have Jagonti and we have a guest from Liberia. So we are still finalizing, but either way, you will have a guest for tomorrow. That is just the truth of the matter. We start at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Mid Central Standard Time. Saturday, we'll have Dr. Nya. Dr. Nya will be our guest, as you're already aware. We'll talk about everything. He says nothing is off the table. So we'll talk about everything. Very interesting. Come because it'll be very, very interesting and fiery. We'll talk about everything. We'll also talk about the COVID, how far we are and what's going on. Because that's his area too as well. We'll talk with Dr. Young. We'll talk the Liberian politics. He doesn't shy away, as you already know him. Sunday, we're still 50-50. I think we're still working with Chairman Musa Beledi, and we're working with a crew from Liberia. Yeah, Sandy then King, they have called. They wanted to come and make report to the Liberian people. We have not finalized it yet, but we'll let you know by Saturday or by tomorrow once we finalize who will be on Sunday. But set your calendars for this week. We'll be on. Thank you so much to Randy. At least he said he was going to come on. He came on. Thank you, Randy. Thanks so much. Sekou.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got to investigate Randy after that whole Queen talk. He got to let me know what went on.
All right, no problem, host. We love you. Right. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Oh, na 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 na. Just let people them.
D12 on the beat.
I know they send you to monitor. Go try them say you not see me, yo. I know they send you to slow me down. Go you come to stress me, move from here. If you want to slow me down, move from here.